Chapter 87. This man was a villager in Shuai village. He was in his early 30s, and his name was Lu San. He was quite famous in Shuai village. However, his fame was not because of Lu San's ability, but because Lu San was a hooligan. He did a lot of bad things on a daily basis. He was lazy and did not do his job properly. Occasionally, Lu San would also tease little girls. Zhao Yun'er did not expect that this guy would be so bold. He actually came to peep at her taking a bath. Zhao Yun'er hated this kind of hooligan very much in her previous life. In this life, he bullied her. How could Zhao Yun let him go? You stinky woman. How dare you kick me? I'll teach you a lesson. Lu San was angry and ashamed. When he was about to resist, Zhao Yun'er grabbed his hand. Zhao Yun held Lu San's hand as if she was catching a criminal. Lu San shouted like a pig. It hurts. You bitch, let me go. Lu San only felt that his face had been swept to the ground. How could he not break free from the hands of a woman? Don't talk about teaching Zhao Yun'er a lesson. He simply had no room to resist. Zhao Yun'er said coldly, "Let you go? Am I so easy to talk to? What do you want to do?" Lu San asked angrily. "Of course, I want to settle the score. You peeped at me taking a bath. How can I just let you go? Now, I'll send you to Li Zheng and ask him if there's any need for a man like you to stay in the village." There were many rules in ancient times. One of them was that you could not flirt with a woman from a good family. The girls that Lu San bullied before, for the sake of their reputation, had to swallow their anger. After all, this kind of thing was disgraceful to them. But because of this, Lu San was even more unscrupulous in the village. Lu San didn't expect Zhao Yun'er to do this. He immediately panicked. He was brave, but he was still afraid of making a big deal out of it. If he was driven out of the village, where could he go? Thus, he lowered his voice and begged, "Little girl, we can talk about this properly and discuss it." The corner of Zhao Yun'er's mouth curled up into a sneer. Discuss? What's there to discuss? Can I apologize? There is no need to bring this matter to Li Zheng. Besides, even if this matter reaches Li Zheng's ears, it won't do you any good. At that time, I will tell Li Zheng that you seduced me. Lu San sounded a little smug. He thought that he could intimidate Zhao Yun'er. In the past, there were women who wanted to report him, but they were all intimidated by his shocking words. Zhao Yun'er's eyes turned cold. This Lu San was really powerful. He dared to threaten her? Zhao Yun'er suddenly exerted a lot of strength in her hand and broke Lu San's hand. Lu San cried out bitterly. One of his hands had been dislocated by Zhao Yun'er. At this moment, the severe pain made Lu San's forehead ooze beads of sweat. B*TCH, B*TCH, you B*TCH, how dare you break my hand? Lu San began to curse. Before Zhao Yun'er finished cleaning up, she kicked Lu San's but fiercely. Lu San was kicked to the ground. Lu San's head hit the ground heavily. One of his front teeth was knocked out, and blood immediately flowed out. Chapter 88. Lu San touched his front tooth. Looking at the broken tooth and the blood on his hand, he was so angry that he almost spat out blood. What the F***CK? This bitch hit me so hard. Zhao Yun'er sneered and walked to Lu San. She sneered at Lu San, who was lying on the ground with his head lowered. Didn't you want to frame me for seducing you? This is a lesson for you. I hate being threatened the most. If you're not afraid of death, you can have a try. Looking at the fierceness in Zhao Yun'er's eyes, Lu San's heart trembled a little. Zhao Yun'er, you hit me. I'm going to report you to the village chief. Lu San touched his mouth and said to Zhao Yun'er with a lisp, how could he be willing to be taught a lesson for nothing? You're going to report me? Haha, then go ahead. I'd like to see what you're going to report me to the village chief. You were hit by me? Lu San, you're the one who will be humiliated if others know about it. You're a grown man, but you can't even beat a woman. You're so miserable. Don't you feel ashamed to stay in this village? You'll be laughed at wherever you go. Besides, Zhao Yun'er lifted the corners of her mouth. Her smile was beautiful and coquettish, but it made Lu San feel cold in his heart. You can have a try. As long as you dare, you can report me. I promise you'll regret it. Saying that, Zhao Yun'er clenched her fists, which made a cracking sound. Lu San knew that Zhao Yun'er wasn't just scaring him. Seeing Lu San behave himself, Zhao Yun'er smiled. Lu San, this is a lesson for you. I hope you can behave yourself. I won't report you to the village chief, but if I catch you again, you won't be so lucky. Now, get out of here. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er didn't stop him, Lu San ran away as fast as a rabbit. Seeing Lu San run away, Zhao Yun'er put away the coldness in her eyes. Of course, she was unwilling to let Lu San go like this. She was being polite to him by teaching him a lesson. However, after hearing Lu San's words, she started to have some misgivings. She didn't know whether the village chief would help Lu San if she really reported him. Lu San... She didn't care about what others said, but she didn't like to be pointed at and gossiped about. Zhao Yun'er's mood was in a mess because of Lu San. At the same time, she was more determined to make money. In this shabby house, it wasn't safe to take a bath. She couldn't be afraid of being seen every time she took a bath. Zhao Yun'er put her clothes in a basin and prepared to wash them by the river. In the evening, there were many people by the river. There was only one river in the Shueilon village. Normally, people would get water from this river. When Zhao Yun'er went to the river, many women were picking and washing vegetables by the river, preparing to cook dinner. There were also people like Zhao Yun'er washing clothes by the river. Chapter 89. The river was paved with large blue stones, which could be used to wash vegetables or clothes. However, there were only 8 or 9 blue stones. Some people were washing them, while others were waiting by the river. However, the women who came over were not in a hurry. They waited leisurely by the river, chatting from time to time, looking relaxed. This was also a rare leisure time for these women. Reflecting the sunset glow, a string of bell-like laughter rang out from the riverside. When Zhao Yun'er went over, the women by the river raised their heads to look at Zhao Yun'er. When they saw Zhao Yun'er, they began to whisper to each other. They did not like to see Zhao Yun'er. In the past few years, because Zhao Yun'er got pregnant before marriage, it was inevitable that she was neglected in the village. The innocent women felt that if they got close to Zhao Yun'er, it would also attract some gossip. After all, birds of a feather flocked together. If they were with a person who did not accept chastity, it was inevitable that they would be led to debauchery. These people ignored Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er did not want to say anything. After all, she could not beg them to pay attention to her, right? Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er heard a call. Zhao Yun'er looked in the direction of the voice. It was Mulan. She was waving at Zhao Yun'er with a smile on her face. Zhao Yun also smiled at Mulan and walked towards Mulan. A woman next to Mulan reminded Mulan in a low voice, "Mulan girl, why are you talking to her? You'd better not interact with people like her." Mulan knew what the woman was referring to, but she still smiled and said, "It's okay, Auntie. I think Yun'er is also very good." The woman sighed. She seemed to think that Mulan did not know how to appreciate kindness. She said to Mulan, "Then do as you like. Don't blame me for not reminding you if there are any rumors about you in the village." Mulan just smiled and did not answer. No matter what others said, she only believed in her own feelings. At least during the process of getting along with Zhao Yun'er, she felt that Zhao Yun'er was good. Zhao Yun'er came to Mulan and smiled at Mulan. "Sister-in-law Mulan, are you also washing things?" Mulan nodded with a smile and said, "Yes, come on, Yun'er. I'll move a little for you. Come and wash. Otherwise, you'll have to wait. It'll be a long time." Zhao Yun'er nodded. "Thank you, sister-in-law Mulan." Mulan also smiled and said, "You're welcome. It's just a small matter." Zhao Yun'er glanced at Mulan's basin and saw that there were only a few rags in Mulan's basin. So she asked Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, what are you washing? It didn't look like clothes. Was it a rag?" Mulan said, "This is a child's diaper." "Diaper?" "Yes, my sister-in-law gave birth to a little boy 2 months ago. Children use more diapers. They change a lot of diapers every day." Mulan explained. Unlike modern times, there were diapers in ancient times, but there were no diapers in ancient times. Therefore, these diapers could only be used. It was more troublesome to change and wash them. Zhao looked at Mulan with some distress. This thing that contained feces and urine was relatively dirty and smelly. Why did only Mulan come to wash it? She couldn't help but ask, "Sister-in-law Mulan, you're so kind. Don't tell me you've been washing your little nephew's diapers all the time?" Chapter 90. Didn't you say that it's been 2 months? You said that you can't wash it before. Why can't you wash it now? You have to wash the baby now. What about her husband? Can't he help her wash it? It's okay for him to wash his child's diapers, right? Yunner, how can a man wash things? It's all done by women. Zhao Yunner was speechless for a while. Why should other people wash the dirty things made by their own children? Couldn't they do it themselves? Other people's help was out of goodwill, but washing it himself was his duty. Wasn't it his duty to do what he was supposed to do? Even if they were sisters-in-law, they shouldn't bully her like this. Mulan smiled bitterly. My mother-in-law is too old to do it, so I'll do it. Zhao Yunner could see that Mulan was actually unwilling to do it. However, in the family Zhu, Mulan was the least liked among all the daughters-in-law, so she was usually left to do all the irrelevant chores. Well, Zhao Yunner sighed. She didn't know what to say. There were some things that could only be fought for by oneself, and others couldn't help. Mulan's situation was also related to her personality. If she was a little stronger, she wouldn't be the most disliked and bullied in her husband's family. Zhao Yunner began to rinse the clothes in the basin in the water. The water was cool and refreshing. Seeing that Zhao Yunner was washing the clothes with water, Mulan asked in a hurry, "Yunner, why don't you use soap? How can you wash the clothes clean like this?" Soap? Yes, you should use soap to wash the clothes. That way, the clothes will be cleaner. In Zhao Yunner's memory, she seemed to remember that the ancient people did indeed use locusts to wash clothes. The ancient world was not like the 21st century world. There was no such thing as washing clothes. However, to remove the stains on the clothes, it was sometimes impossible to wash them clean with just water. Therefore, they would pick some locust and use it to wash the clothes. Firstly, it was cleaner, and secondly, it could leave behind a faint fragrance. After Zhao Yunner came to ancient times in this life, she didn't know where to go to pick locust, so she didn't bring any locust with her when she washed her clothes this time. "Oh, I didn't pick it." Zhao Yunner smiled at Mulan. Mulan took out some locust from the basin and handed it to Zhao Yunner. "Come on, Yunner, I still have some left. Here you go." Zhao Yunner also smiled at Mulan. "Thank you, Mulan. You're welcome." At the riverbank, the sound of water splashing could be heard. At this time, a 16 or 17-year-old girl also walked towards the riverbank with a wooden basin in her hand. Unlike Zhao Yunner's situation, when this girl came over, the women on the riverbank were very polite to her, and they greeted the girl one by one. "Hong is here. Hong is washing the clothes. Hong, you're so diligent." Xiao Hong smiled sweetly at the women who greeted her. "Hello, aunties. I'm here to wash the clothes. My mother isn't feeling well, so I'm here to wash them." After Xiao Hong finished speaking, Zhao Yunner's ears rang with a burst of praise. Chapter 91. There were many people who praised Xiao Hong, but there were also some who disagreed. Perhaps it was because of jealousy. "You're making it sound so good. Why don't you let your son marry Xiao Hong? Why are you saying so much here? You only know how to flatter." "You can't say that. It's true that Hong is good, but it's another thing to let our sons marry her." Zhao Yunner listened to these women's chatter and looked at Xiao Hong curiously. Xiao Hong was wearing a pink dress. She had a slender figure, and a silver hairpin was inserted into her hairbun. Her attire was considered top-notch in the village. Ordinary people in the countryside couldn't afford to wear colorful clothes at all. Everyone wore coarse linen clothes. Xiao Hong's appearance belonged to the type of pretty girl from a humble family. She was very delicate and pretty. When she was 16 or 17 years old, she was even more tender and delicate. Based on the memories of her previous life and the discussions of those women, Zhao Yunner had a rough understanding of Xiao Hong. The Xiao family was considered a wealthy family in the village. Unfortunately, the Xiao family only had one daughter, Xiao Hong. In ancient times, if there were no male children in the family, they would choose to let their daughters find a husband. However, in ancient times, if there were male children in the family, they wouldn't allow their children to marry into the family. Only the poorest of the family and those who couldn't find a wife would marry into the family. Therefore, even if Xiao Hong was a good person and had a good family background, she didn't get married until she was 16 or 17 years old. During this period, there were some people who wanted to marry into the family, but Xiao Hong was also a little picky. She wasn't willing to marry anyone. Mulan just finished washing the clothes, so she stood up and gave her seat to Xiao Hong, who came to wash the clothes. "Sister Xiao Hong, come over here," Mulan called out to Xiao Hong. Xiao Hong came over with a wooden basin and smiled at Mulan. "Thank you, sister-in-law Mulan." Xiao Hong smiled sweetly. The two dimples on her cheeks looked very pretty. When she saw Zhao Yuner, she smiled at Zhao Yuner. "Sister Yuner." Zhao Yun finally understood why Liu Min's women in the village liked Xiao Hong more. First of all, Xiao Hong's appearance was more likable. The most important thing was that Xiao Hong's mouth was very sweet. When she saw people, she would shout and smile. Who wouldn't like her? Xiao Hong greeted her with a smile. Zhao Yun unnaturally wouldn't disrespect her and smiled back at Xiao Hong. "Sister Yuner, let me help you." The two of them should have more energy. When Zhao Yuner picked up her clothes and was about to dehydrate, Xiao Hong said enthusiastically. Looking at Xiao Hong's appearance, Zhao Yuner couldn't refuse, so she smiled at Xiao Hong. "Then I'll have to trouble you." Xiao Hong shook her head. "It's no trouble." The two of them each tugged at one end of the shirt. Just as they were about to wring it dry, Xiao Hong saw a figure walking over from not far away. She screamed. Then there was the sound of a splash as Xiao Hong fell into the water. The women by the river heard the sound and hurriedly gathered around. Hong fell into the water. "What should we do?" "Hong help! Help!" Xiao Hong struggled in the water as she screamed. Chapter 92. Zhao Yuner stood on the shore in a daze. She didn't understand why Xiao Hong fell into the river. Xiao Hong didn't touch her at all. She was standing there, so she shouldn't have fallen into the river. Just when everyone was at a loss, someone rushed over and jumped into the river, swimming toward Xiao Hong. It was none other than Lu Lei. When Lu Lei swam to Xiao Hong's side, he grabbed Xiao Hong with one hand and pulled her out of the water. It was still a little cold in this season. Xiao Hong's lips were a little purple from the cold, and her body was shivering violently. Because her body was soaked in water, she was wet from head to toe. Her clothes were also tightly clinging to her body, outlining her exquisite curves. Lu Lei saw it from the side, and his face immediately flushed. He took off his clothes and covered Xiao Hong's body. There were no other men beside the river except for Lu Lei. Otherwise, almost all of them would have left today. After choking on the water, Xiao Hong coughed violently, and her small face became pale. Seeing Xiao Hong like this, the women on the shore felt sorry for her, but they also heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Lu Lei came over. Otherwise, Xiao Hong might have drowned to death. If Xiao Hong drowned to death, the Xiao family would be in a mess. "Hong, you were fine. Why did you fall into the water?" "Exactly. Was it an accident? Or did someone push you in?" These women surrounded Xiao Hong and chattered with each other. Xiao Hong bit her lower lip and said with a little grievance, What's wrong with you? Hong, if you have something to say, just say it. We are all here." Hearing these women say this, Xiao Hong looked at Zhao Yun with an aggrieved expression. Her eyes were glistening with tears. Zhao Yun's heart trembled, and a bad feeling rose in her heart. As expected, Xiao Hong said to Zhao Yuner, "Sister Yuner, I was kind enough to help you dry your clothes. How could you push me into the river? If you don't like me, you can tell me. You don't have to do this to me." As soon as Xiao Hong's words fell, these women instantly exploded and began to criticize Zhao Yuner. "Zhao Yuner, are you still human? Everyone ignored you, and only Hong was polite to you. Yet you're still acting like this. What a vicious woman. How could there be such a vicious and merciless woman? Oh my God, Zhao Yuner, you've done those shameful things, and now you're ruthlessly pushing people into the water. This is murder. You should be arrested and sent to the officials." Obviously, because of Zhao Yuner's bad reputation and Xiao Hong's bad reputation, These women immediately believed Xiao Hong's words and thought that it was Zhao Yuner who pushed people into the water. Of course, one of the reasons why these people believed Xiao Hong without a doubt was that she couldn't have jumped into the water by herself. If everyone tried to save her, someone would die. Xiao Hong wouldn't joke about her own life and framed Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner stood quietly and looked at Xiao Hong, completely ignoring the women's chatter in her ears. Chapter 93. Xiao Hong avoided Zhao Yuner's gaze and looked elsewhere. It was unknown if it was because of her guilty conscience. You vicious woman. Are you mute? Why aren't you saying anything? You have to give Xiao Hong an explanation today. As she spoke, a woman was already pushing Zhao Yun. When one of them made a move, the rest of the women followed suit. Zhao Yuner dodged, and a warning voice rang out. Don't touch me. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. You little B*TCH. You're being unreasonable now. You've done something bad, but you think it'll be fine if you don't say anything. Everyone, call Li Zheng over and ask him how we should deal with this little B*TCH. Zhao Yuner sneered and said, What bad thing did I do? I pushed her into the water. May I ask, did any of you see me push her? She said I pushed her, so I pushed her. What if I said I didn't push her? Zhao Yuner, why are you still acting so shamelessly? Will Hong properly accuse you of pushing her into the water? That's right. We believe what Xiao Hong said, not what you said. That's right. Xiao Hong won't accuse you properly. What good will it do her? What if Lu Lei didn't save her this time? Wouldn't he have lost his life? How would I know what she's thinking? I said I didn't push her, so I didn't push her. If you want to frame someone, you have to show evidence. Where's the evidence? If no one saw it, don't spout your self-righteous nonsense. Zhao Yuner's aura surged, and she instantly intimidated these nagging women. Lu Lei, who had been standing silently, also spoke at this time. I believe what Yuner said. Before there's evidence, you can't say that Yuner pushed her. After all, without any evidence, you can't frame a good person. Zhao Yuner glanced at Lu Lei. When so many people were questioning her, he was the only one who stood by her side without hesitation. Xiao Hong looked at Lu Lei pitifully. Brother Lu, do you mean that you believe Sister Yuner, and not me? Did I push Sister Yuner into the water? Lu Lei gave Xiao Hong a complicated look. You should know better than anyone whether Yuner pushed you or not. Big Brother Lu, sob sob sob. Even if you like Big Sister Yuner, you can't suspect me like this, right? Xiao Hong's tears fell like pearls. She looked even more pitiful. The women couldn't take it anymore and said to Lu Lei, you can't speak like this, right? Everyone knows that you like Zhao Yuner, but you don't have to protect her like this. You really don't have a conscience when speaking. Look at how you've bullied Xiao Hong. I'm not defending anyone. I'm just speaking the truth. What would Yuner gain from pushing Xiao Hong? Everyone is here. If she wants to harm someone, is there need to be so obvious? Lu Lei's voice was also incomparably solemn. Zhao Yuner sighed in her heart. It was a good thing that Lu Lei had his own judgment and didn't follow what others said. Just as these people were about to say something, Mulan, who had been standing by the side in a low voice, said, Yuner didn't push her. Everyone looked at Mulan again, not knowing what Mulan meant by suddenly saying this. Mulan explained, I've been watching just now. Mulan didn't push her. I swear I saw it clearly. She's not lying. Chapter 94. Xiao Hong looked at Mulan with a pitiful look, as if she had suffered a great grievance. Mulan said with a serious face, Sister Xiao Hong, I don't mean to side with anyone. I'm just speaking the truth. Maybe you fell down by yourself and thought that it was Yuner who pushed you. Is there some misunderstanding? Also, Sister Xiao Hong, if our country tries to frame others, it will backfire. You have to think carefully about what happened today. Zhao Yuner admired Mulan a little more in her heart. She didn't expect Mulan to say something like that. It really surprised her. Mulan's words made these women think more carefully. After all, no one wanted to get into trouble for someone who didn't have much to do with them. Everyone knows that Mulan doesn't lie. Yeah, Mulan doesn't lie when other people do. There's no one more honest than her in the village. We didn't see it ourselves. Who knows what it is like? Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Hong, did you remember wrongly? These women talked one after another. Because of Mulan's words, the wind started to change. Xiao Hong's eyes flashed with a trace of unwillingness. She bit her lower lip and said, "Then maybe I remembered wrongly. I felt that someone pushed me, so I thought it was Sister Yin. Then it's a misunderstanding. All right. Since it's a misunderstanding, let's disperse." Looking at these people, they seemed to have forgotten what they had said before. After hurting someone, they seemed to be at ease now. What a joke. Zhao Yin'er's lips curled into a mocking smile. Xiao Hong looked at Lu Lei, then looked at Zhao Yin'er. She said to Zhao Yin'er pitifully, "Sister Yin'er, you won't blame me for misunderstanding you, right? I choked on water, so my head was dizzy. Maybe I didn't remember clearly." Xiao Hong's appearance and words made it seem like if Zhao Yin'er blamed her, then Zhao Yin'er was in the wrong. Zhao Yin'er smiled. "Sister Xiao Hong, since you didn't do it on purpose, I naturally won't blame you." Xiao Hong was slightly stunned, as if she didn't expect Zhao Yin'er to answer like this. She looked at Zhao Yin'er with a complicated expression. Her original plan seemed to have fallen through again. "Sister Yin'er, you're the best." Zhao Yin'er smiled faintly, too lazy to say anything to Xiao Hong. She naturally wouldn't let her off so easily, but she wouldn't say this. However, she would not say anything in front of these people. Later on, she would let Xiao Hong know what it was like to be framed by others. Zhao Yin'er picked up her wooden basin and said to Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, are you done bathing? Let's go if you're done." Mulan nodded. Seeing Zhao Yin'er and Mulan leave, Lu Lei was about to chase after Zhao Yin'er, but Xiao Hong grabbed his hand. "Brother Lu, where are you going?" "Sister Xiao Hong, men and women shouldn't touch each other. Please respect yourself." Xiao Hong lowered her head, feeling wronged. "Brother Lu, it's inconvenient for me to be drenched. Can you send me back?" "Lu Lei, Honger has suffered a lot today. You have to have tender feelings for the fairer sex. At least send her back." Chapter 95. Lu Lei has seen Honger's body. Lu Lei, don't blame us Annies for talking too much. Why don't you marry Honger? It'll be good for both you and Honger. What do you think? These women seem to be trying their best to matchmake Lu Lei and Xiao Hong. In their eyes, Lu Lei and Xiao Hong were a match made in heaven. There was only one person in Lu Lei's family. It was fine for him to marry into the Xiao family. Xiao Hong was such a good girl. She was not unworthy of him. However, Lu Lei frowned and said sternly to these people, "Aunties, don't talk nonsense. I didn't see anything at all. This will tarnish Xiao Hong's reputation." Seeing Lu Lei like this, it was obvious that he looked down on Xiao Hong. These women sighed. "All right, just take it that we said too much. Everyone, let's disperse." Disperse. Hong, it's good that you're fine. Quickly go back and change out of these clothes so that you don't catch a cold. Okay, Ani. Xiao Hong's lips curled into a smile, but it was incomparably bitter. "Big Brother Lu, if you don't want to send me back, I won't force you. It's just that I might give you these clothes later," Xiao Hong said. Lu Lei glanced at Xiao Hong and felt that she seemed to be a little pitiful. Hence, he said to Xiao Hong, "Then I'll send you back." "Thank you, Big Brother Lu, it's fine." Lu Lei didn't show it on his face, but there was some resentment in his heart. If Mulan hadn't stood up for today's matter, Zhao Yin'er would have been accused of another crime. On the way back together with Zhao Yin'er and Mulan, Zhao said gratefully to Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, thank you so much for today's matter." Mulan smiled and said, "It's fine, yeah? I just said what I saw. I can't just watch them slander you, right? But I still have to thank you." "Yin'er, you're too polite." "Haha. Then, sister-in-law Mulan, I won't stand on ceremony with you in the future. You don't have to stand on ceremony with me either. If there's anything I can help you with, you must tell me." Mulan smiled and nodded. The shallow dimples on her cheeks were very pretty. When they were about to reach the family Zhu's house, the old lady saw Mulan and yelled at the top of her lungs, "Third daughter-in-law, why did you take so long to wash diapers? I thought you had died by the river. Hurry up and come back. The whole family is waiting for you to have dinner." Family Zhu's old lady's tone was a little sharp and unkind. She looked like a bad mother-in-law. Mulan hurriedly replied, "Mother, I'll be right there." Mulan turned her head and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, I'll go back first." Zhao Yuner nodded. "Okay, sister-in-law Mulan. Take your time. It's fine." Zhao Yuner sighed after saying goodbye to Mulan. In ancient times, people with good tempers led miserable lives. Mulan was such a nice girl, but she had suffered a lot when she came to family Zhu. She would not be bullied if she became stronger. Zhao Yuner went back. After dinner, she and Dao went to bed early. The next day, Zhao Yuner went to the mountains again. She went to the mountains to try her luck. It would be good if she could find something that could be sold for money. Chapter 96. Zhao Tianfu was still a child, so when he knew that Zhao Yuner had gone to the mountain, he wanted to go and take a look. He had already run all over the village and was tired of playing. He always wanted to go somewhere else. Because she had 2 children with her, Zhao Yuner didn't dare to take them into the depths of the mountain. She only wandered around the periphery of the forest. She had been up the mountain a few times before, but she didn't wander too far. The entire mountain was too big. It was still a little difficult to run all over it. Zhao Yuner took the 2 children to the west side of the mountain. Along the way, she reminded the 2 children to be careful. However, although the mountain road was a little difficult to walk on, there weren't too many weeds and thorns. Zhao Yun led the way in front, and the 2 children followed behind. Unknowingly, they had walked a lot. Looking at the small flowers all over the mountain, they were colorful and very beautiful. The 2 children were overjoyed. Along the way, they pointed at the small flowers and said to Zhao Yuner, "Mother, Hua, Dao likes Hua. Haha, Dao likes it. Mother will make a garland for you." As Zhao Yuner spoke, she began to pick the small flowers on the ground and then weave the garland. These small flowers in Zhao Yuner's hands seemed to have magic. After a while, they piled together and formed a circular garland. Dao, look, does this look good? Zhao Yuner handed the garland she made to Dao and asked softly. Dao nodded heavily. "Mother, it looks good." "Haha, Dao, come. Mother will put it up for you." As she spoke, Zhao Yuner put the garland on Dao's head. The baby wearing the garland was even cuter. If Dao could be a little chubbier, he would definitely be a little fairy child. Dao is so good looking. Zhao Yuner stared at him for a while and praised. "Sis, Dao looks good like this." Zhao Tianfu saw it and praised. Zhao Yun then weaved another garland and gave it to Zhao Tianfu. She looked at the 2 children with satisfaction. Holding one in each hand, she continued to walk forward. After walking for a short distance, they saw a small river. The water was very clear, and there were many flowers and plants growing beside the riverbank. This place was like a paradise on earth. Zhao Yuner stared blankly for a few minutes. She didn't expect there to be such beautiful scenery. If this was discovered in the 21st century, it would probably be developed as a tourist attraction. Zhao Yuner asked the 2 children to take a break. After walking for a while, she was a little tired. "Mother, Dao wants to drink water." Dao tugged on Zhao Yuner's sleeve as he spoke. "Okay, Mother will get some water for Dao. This small river should be spring water that flowed down from the mountain." It was drinkable. Zhao Yuner found a relatively large leaf and got some water from the river. "Come, Dao, drink." Yes. Zhao Yuner carefully fed Dao. The river water was a little cold, and Zhao Yuner didn't dare to let Dao drink too much. She was afraid that Dao would have a stomachache if he drank too much. "Mother's sweet." Dao pointed to the drinking water in the leaf. Zhao Yuner smiled and said, "You can't drink too much even if it's sweet. Dao will have a stomachache if he drinks too much." Dao nodded his head heavily. After drinking a few mouthfuls, he obediently stopped drinking. This river water was probably a natural mountain spring, so there would be some sweetness. When Zhao Yuner was resting, she found that there were many big fish swimming in the water in front of her. Chapter 97. No matter what, fish meat was still considered meat. If it was stewed or braised, the taste would still be excellent. There were so many fish in this small river, and every one of them was so plump. It was probably because no one had ever come here, and the fish in the river had always been raised, so it was like this. The river water was so clear that the bottom could be seen, so one could see where the fish were swimming. Zhao Yun estimated the depth of the river. It was only about half up to her leg. Such a shallow river, she could definitely wade into the water to catch fish. Dowdo, Mother will go down and catch fish for you, okay? Okay. Dowdo looked at the fish swimming around in the river. He was very interested and stretched his head out to look. Then Dowdo and little uncle will watch from shore. Don't move. Mother will go and catch fish now. Okay, Zhao Yun'er said. She took off her shoes, rolled up her trousers, and began to walk into the river. The river water was cool and refreshing. It was still spring, so there was a trace of coldness. Zhao Yun'er tried to be as quiet as possible, so as not to disturb the fish in the river. When she reached the middle of the river water was just above her knees. Her feet stepped on the stones below. Some of them were hard and a little uncomfortable. Slowly, some fish had already swum to her side. Zhao Yun'er quickly grabbed the fish in the river. These fish were usually in the water where no one disturbed them, so they were not very alert. Zhao Yun'er's speed was also very fast. Soon, the fish were caught by Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun'er looked at the fish in her hand. It was quite big. The first one she caught was a catfish, which was estimated to be 2 or 3 jin. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er had successfully caught a big fish, Dowdo and Zhao Tianfu immediately became excited. Mother is so awesome. Dowdo clapped and laughed. Sister, you're so awesome. You caught a fish. Zhao Tianfu also said excitedly. This fish was not easy to catch. He had caught it before. If his hand was not fast enough and his strength was not enough, he would not be able to catch it at all. Even catching a small fish was not easy, let alone a big fish. Zhao Yun'er looked at the 2 children's happy faces, and the corners of her mouth hooked up into a faint smile. She waded through the water and came ashore. She placed the big fish in her hand on the ground and let the 2 children play with it. Just watch. Mother will continue. Zhao Yun'er smiled and went into the river again. After about an hour, Zhao Yun'er's basket began to fill up. Seeing that it was almost done, Zhao Yun'er went ashore. There were so many fish that he probably couldn't finish them all. However, it could be sold in the city. After all, fish was different from vegetables and wild vegetables. It was considered meat, and its price was slightly more expensive than vegetables. The last time she went to the city, Zhao Yun'er vaguely remembered that the stall selling fish sold for 4 or 5 copper coins per caddy. There were at least 40 to 50 caddies of fish in her basket. Counting them, she could sell them for a few hundred copper coins, right? Mother, there are so many fish. Dowdo pointed at Zhao Yun'er's basket. Yes, there's so many fish. Mother will go back and make fish soup for Dowdo to drink. Zhao Yun'er saw that it was getting late. It was time to go back and make lunch. Today's harvest was relatively bountiful. Zhao Yun'er held the 2 children's hands in satisfaction and began to walk back. When it came to eating fish, Dowdo and Zhao Tianfu were a little impatient. Chapter 98. But this time, there were a lot of fish, and the 2 children could eat to their heart's content. Croak, croak, Zhao Yun'er heard a few frog croaks. Dowdo's pink and tender little finger pointed at the grass by the riverbank and said to Zhao Yun'er, Mother, look, it's a toad. Zhao Yun'er glanced at it, and her eyes lit up. How is this a toad? It was a bullfrog. It was just that Dowdo couldn't tell the difference between a bullfrog and a toad. The people of this era also couldn't tell the difference between a bullfrog and a toad. So at this time, no one would eat bullfrogs. But bullfrogs were extraordinarily delicious. If they took it back and ate it, it would taste even better than fish. The natural environment of ancient times was much better than the modern environment, and it was very suitable for the survival of these animals. Zhao Yun'er put down the basket on her back and wanted to catch the bullfrog again. Zhao Tianfu hurriedly asked, Sister, where are you going? To catch a bullfrog. Then she pointed at the bullfrog and said, That's not a toad, that's a bullfrog, and it's edible. Zhao Tianfu had a look of disbelief on his face. Sister, I recognize it. That's a toad. There are many of them in our village. In summer, you can see toads everywhere you go, especially next to the latrine. You can see a lot of them when you go to the toilet at night. Sister, this toad can't be caught. It's poisonous. If you catch it, it will spit poisonous gas at you. This thing can't be eaten. You'll be poisoned if you eat it. When Zhao Tianfu said this, he was serious, afraid that Zhao Yun'er wouldn't believe him. Tianfu, you can't catch toads indeed, but this is indeed a bullfrog. This toad looks a little like a bullfrog, but the two are not the same thing. But sister, how do you know this is a bullfrog? I've never heard of a bullfrog before. Zhao Yun'er said with a smile, because I know a lot. Tianfu, don't you trust your sister that much? Zhao Tianfu looked at Zhao Yun'er, and it seemed that she really knew. Thinking of Zhao Yun'er doing too many amazing things during this period, Zhao Tianfu already had some admiration for Zhao Yun'er. At this moment, he also began to choose to believe her. Although these bullfrogs were a little difficult to catch, it was still not a problem for Zhao Yun. When she was a child, she caught a bullfrog's content. After a while, Zhao Yun'er caught up to 5 or 6 bullfrogs were caught. Fearing that these bullfrogs would struggle and jump away, Zhao Yun'er found a thin straw rope and tied the bullfrog's feet. The two children probably thought it's a toad, so they were From afar, if one thought that it was a toad, it would look a little scary. Zhao Tianfu stared at the toad in Zhao Yun'er's hand and said, Sister, it doesn't seem to be a toad. It doesn't spray poisonous gas. Zhao Yun'er said with a smile, It's not a toad. There's a difference. Zhao Yun'er pointed at the toad and began to explain to Zhao Tianfu how to distinguish it. In fact, it's very simple. Tianfu, look, this bullfrog looks much better than a toad. Its surface is smooth, but this toad has a pair of small bumps on its body. Isn't it? After looking at it, Zhao Tianfu nodded heavily. Sister, it seems to be like this. Chapter 99. Zhao Tianfu didn't know much about delicious food, but compared with meat, he immediately understood. If this bullfrog was more delicious than meat, what kind of taste would it be? Therefore, he couldn't wait to urge Zhao Yun'er to go back and make some bullfrogs. On the way back to the village, they met several villagers. Seeing Zhao Yun'er carrying a basket full of fish, they were jealous. Yun'er, where did you get so many fish? A woman approached them. She was Zhao Yun'er's eldest grandmother, Mrs. Meng. Mrs. Meng's husband was Zhao Yun'er's eldest grandfather, Zhao Baozhu. He was Zhao Baoshang's twin brother. In ancient times, people had many brothers and sisters. Generally speaking, they would gradually separate from each other. Mrs. Meng and Hua Chunhua were sisters-in-law. They weren't easy to deal with. They loved to gossip and were always greedy. Mrs. Meng and Hua Chunhua were definitely neck and neck. Seeing Zhao Yun'er carrying so many fish back, Mrs. Meng fixed her eyes on the fish in Zhao Yun'er's basket. It seemed that she wanted to get one. In the river, Zhao Yun'er replied calmly. She didn't want to talk to Mrs. Meng. In the river? Is it the river in our village? Girl, then where did you get the ability to get so much from the river? Do you have some kind of special method? Tell me about it. I'll ask your cousin to get some fish back later. Zhao Yun didn't want to talk to Mrs. Meng, but Mrs. Meng obviously wanted to pester Zhao Yun'er. What else can I do? I'll get into the water myself. But Mrs. Meng, I have to remind you that not everyone can catch fish. If you're not careful, you can fall into the water and drown. Madame Meng smiled embarrassedly. Forget it then. It's so dangerous. It's better not to let your cousin go into the water. But Yun'er, you brought so many back. Will you be able to finish them all? Why don't you give me a few, so I can pay attention to the fish soup when I go back? My family hasn't tasted anything fishy for a long time. Mrs. Meng's words were not polite at all, as if this was what Zhao Yun'er should do. Zhao Yun'er felt very uncomfortable when she heard Mrs. Meng's words. Why should she give her the fish that she had painstakingly caught? The Meng's habit of taking advantage of others had become a habit. Mrs. Meng thought that Zhao Yun'er would give it to her if she said so. After all, she was Zhao Yun'er's elder. There was no harm in giving a little filial piety. Besides, Zhao Yun'er had a lot of fish in her hands, so she doesn't care about a few. However, out of Mrs. Meng's expectation, Zhao Yun'er refused. Mrs. Meng, it's not easy for me to get these fish back. I don't even want to eat them. I'm going to sell them in the city tomorrow. In the city, 500 grams of fish can be sold for 3 to 4 copper coins. You know, it's not easy for me to take care of Dowdu. I'm counting on the money from selling fish to buy food. Otherwise, Dowdu and I will starve to death. Zhao Yun didn't refuse right away. Instead, she pretended to be pitiful. Chapter 100. After hearing this, Mrs. Ming's face suddenly turned ugly. This wretched girl was really good at scheming. Zhao Yun's words shut Mrs. Ming's mouth. No matter how thick-skinned she was, she couldn't continue to ask Zhao Yun for more. She wanted to eat fish because she wanted to take it from Zhao Yun for free. But she wouldn't exchange it with food. Forget it if you don't want to give it to me. Why do you have to come up with so many excuses? I thought that one of you in the second branch was easy to talk to, but the result is the same. Mrs. Ming rolled her eyes at Zhao Yun and walked away with her short legs. The other villagers around saw that Mrs. Ming didn't get any advantage from Zhao Yun, let alone them. When Zhao Yun saw Meng Shi's departing figure, a cold smile hung on the corner of her mouth. Then she held the two children's hands and continued to walk back. After returning, Zhao Yun first took out a wooden basin and put all the eared fish she caught today into the basin. She put water in the basin so that these fish wouldn't die. The price of live fish and dead fish was very different. If the fish died, the taste would be much worse. Zhao Yun stared at the fish she caught today in the basin. In addition to catfish, there were also carps, bass, grass carps, and so on. Although there were many kinds, there were only 1 or 2 of each. Zhao Yun looked and picked out a few fish. In addition to braised fish, she also prepared steamed bass and cooked some fresh fish slices. Dinner would definitely be very sumptuous. These fish were just more precious than vegetables in the countryside. However, many villagers didn't like to eat fish very much. In the end, it was because the villagers didn't know how to cook fish. Basically, they didn't put anything in it and just simply boiled it in water. When such fish was cooked, not only would it be tasteless, but it would also have a fishy smell. Zhao Yun took out a piece of wood and began to kill the fish. She slowly removed the fish scales. Then she rinsed it with water again. Zhao, Tianfu, and Dowdu squatted in front of the wooden basin and looked at the fish in the basin with interest. The smell of fish attracted a few cats. People in the countryside liked to raise cats. In ancient times, there were many rats, and rats would steal rice. After raising a cat, the number of mice in the house could be reduced by a lot, and the food could be prevented from being spoiled by mice. Seeing these skinny cats coming over, Zhao Yun did not chase them away and let them eat. Anyway, she didn't want the fish organs anymore. If she left them in front of the house, they would definitely stink in a few days. The cats piqued Dowdu's interest again. Dou ran over, pointed at the cats on the ground, and said to Zhao Yun, "Mother cats." Dowdu likes cats. Dowdu nodded heavily. Children should be more fond of small animals, right? Dowdu then turned to Zhao Yun and asked, "Mother, can Dowdu touch them?" Dowdu's eyes were full of anticipation, but he knew that before he could do anything, he had to get Zhao Yun's permission. Zhao Yun shook her head and said, "Dowdu, you can't." Dowdu's eyes showed a trace of disappointment. Looking at Dowdu's small appearance, Zhao Yun felt a little distressed. She didn't let Dowdu touch them because she was afraid that the cats would scratch Dowdu. The cats and dogs in the countryside were not raised in captivity. They were more wild and could not be touched casually. Unless they were raised at home, they could be scratched or bitten accidentally. Zhao Yun saw that Dowdu liked them so much and thought that she could raise a puppy for Dowdu. Chapter 101. In ancient times, there was only one type of dog. Most of them were mongrels, which were Chinese rural dogs. Although mongrels were not as cute as some Western dogs in the 21st century, they had a high IQ, were more humane, and were loyal to their owners. If one could raise one, not only could it be Dowdu's playmate, it could also be used as a guard. Zhao Yun remembered that Annie Lu mentioned a few days ago that her old bitch had given birth to a few puppies. The puppies were already a month old, and she was worried about giving them away. After all, food was more precious in ancient times, and a family could only raise one dog at most. If they raised a few more, they would not be able to keep them alive. Zhao Yun smiled at Dado. Dado, mother will go to Grandma Lu and get you a puppy to raise, okay? Hearing this, Daodu's dejected face immediately regained its spirit. Mother, is that true? If Daodu likes it, mother will get you one. Daodu likes it, Daodu said crisply. All right, after we eat lunch, mother will go to wet Nurse Lu's place to catch one for you, okay? Uh-huh. Seeing the smile on Daodu's little face, Zhao Yun's mouth also revealed a faint smile. Mother's going to cook. Okay. Zhao Yun put the fish aside and began to serve the dishes first. Braised and steamed fish were easier, but making fish slices took some effort. Zhao Yun sliced the fish slice by slice. Fortunately, her knife skills were not bad after so many years of practice. She had basically removed all the fish bones, so Daodu did not have to be too careful when eating. As for braised fish and steamed sea bass, Zhao Yun still had to remove the fish maw and fish bones before she dared to let Daodu eat. Otherwise, if he got stuck, he didn't know if there was any way to remove the fish bone from his throat in this era. The bullfrogs were also skinned and cleaned by Zhao Yun and placed in basins. When the fish was ready, he added some flour and kneaded it before preparing to cook. Bullfrog was simply cooked. It didn't need too many ingredients to cook it to produce that delicious taste. Then, he made the braised fish and poured some oil into the oil pan. After heating it up, he began to fry it. When both sides were golden, he added water, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, cooking wine, and salt to simmer it. A strong fragrance wafted out. When the villagers cooked, they were reluctant to use oil. They only added some salt. Braised fish and soy sauce was really rare in the countryside. The braised fish only took about 10 minutes to cook. While the rice was cooking in the other pot, a steaming rack was set up and the base was steamed on it. The last dish Zhao Yun made was the fish slices. After adding some oil and boiling half a pot of water, she put the fish slices into the pot. Then, she added a few pieces of ginger and covered the pot with the lid. The fish slices were very thin and easy to cook. They were cooked after a few minutes. When it was taken out of the pot, the fish soup had already turned milky white. It smelled very fragrant and looked very appetizing. Before it was taken out of the pot, Zhao Yun grabbed a handful of chopped green onions and sprinkled them in. The smell of the green onions mixed together, and it smelled better. Looking at the few dishes she made, Zhao Yun felt very accomplished. Not to mention the ancient times, even the 21st century, it was definitely considered very sumptuous. Chapter 102. Zhao Yun greeted them. The two kids ran into the house happily. They had been waiting for a long time. When they smelled the aroma coming out of the kitchen, they were even hungrier. Zhao Yun put all the dishes on the table. There were 4 dishes in total: boiled bullfrog, braised fish, steamed sea bass, and fresh fish soup. Not only did these dishes smell good, but they also looked very good. Sister, it smells so good. It looks delicious. Haha, then let's eat quickly. The eyes of the two children were also affirming Zhao Yun's cooking skills. She scooped rice for Zhao Tianfu and Daodu and asked the two kids to eat. Zhao Yun reminded them not to eat too fast from time to time. They had to pay attention to the fish bones. Sister, the fish you cooked is so delicious. I've never eaten such delicious fish before. It's not fishy at all, and it smells so good. Sister, it's so good to eat here. It's much better than eating at home. Zhao Tianfu buried his head in the food, his face full of satisfaction. Zhao Tianfu ate half of the fish slices in the pot of fish soup. The fish meat was very fresh and tender, and the fish soup was very delicious. Zhao Yun liked it very much after tasting it, let alone Zhao Tianfu, who had never eaten anything delicious before. The ancient fish was bred by nature, and its taste was much better than that of the fish raised by animal feed. You can eat here all the time if you like. Anyway, you can catch fish yourself. You don't need to buy these with money. But sister, mom and dad don't allow me to eat too much here. It's fine. Mom and dad think that I don't have much food here. As you can see, I actually have a lot of food here. Sure. Zhao Tianfu nodded with a smile and ate more happily. This time, he ate very freely, because he knew that these fish were all caught and he didn't need to spend money to buy them. In addition, there were a lot of fish and they tasted good. In the end, Zhao Tianfu's stomach was as full as a rubber ball. Sister, I'm full. I'm so full. Zhao Tianfu put down his bowl and chopsticks and pointed to his stomach as he spoke to Zhao Yuna. It's good that you're full. Don't eat so much next time. It's not good for your stomach. It won't be good if you get sick. Okay, second sister, I won't do it again. It's just that the fish you made this time was so delicious that I couldn't help but eat a lot. It's good that you think it's delicious. I'll make more for you in the future. Yeah. Daodu also put down his bowl and chopsticks and finished the bowl of rice. Mother, Daodu is also full. That's great. Looking at this little guy, he had eaten a lot today. His appetite was much bigger than an ordinary child's. Children in ancient times were much easier to raise than children in the 21st century. Children like Daodu didn't even need to be coaxed to eat. They could eat by themselves. In the 21st century, it took a lot of effort to feed children every day. Zhao Yun'er took out a handkerchief and wiped Daodu's little mouth. There were a lot of oil stains on his mouth, so it was a little dirty now. Chapter 103. Recently, we've been planting rapeseed at home. After we finish planting, Brother Tian'in still has to go into the fields with Grandpa and Dad. He's busy every day. After a while, he still has to spread the rice, get the seedlings, and then transplant the seedlings, so he doesn't have time to come over. He just eats at home. Zhao Tianfu explained. Zhao Yun'er nodded. There's a lot of farm work in the countryside, especially in spring, when there was even more work to be done. In the countryside, a child at Zhao Tianfu's age could run around and play, but Zhao Tian'in had to work in the fields like an adult. Brother Tian'in doesn't come because he doesn't want to trouble second sister. Mom said that Brother Tian'in and I shouldn't always freeload. Zhao Yun touched Zhao Tianfu's head and smiled. It's okay, Tianfu. You go back today and tell Tian'in to come to my place to eat. We'll wait for him to eat together. There are so many fish. Anyway, it's enough to eat. We have to let him taste what it tastes like, right? Zhao Tianfu smiled and nodded. Okay, second sister. I'll go back and tell Brother Tian'in. Okay. When Zhao Tianfu went back, Zhao Yun'er scooped up the leftover fish soup and fillets from the pot into a big bowl. Tianfu, take this back and let Mom and Dad have a taste. Be careful. Don't let anyone see it. Zhao Tianfu nodded. Got it, sister. Although Zhao Tianfu was young, he was very smart. When he carried the bowl back, he was very careful. He waited until there was no one around before entering the courtyard. Li Chuanying just came back from the toilet. He pulled up his pants and walked into old Zhao's courtyard. At this time, he saw Zhao Tianfu sneaking into the courtyard with the bowl in his hand. He then ran into the third branch's house. Li Chuanying thought that Zhao Tianfu was like a thief. He must have brought something good back and didn't want anyone to see it. This third branch, he must have eaten it all alone. These days, Zhao Tianfu didn't come back to old Zhao's house to eat. Instead, he went to Zhao Yun'er's place. Presumably, Zhao Yun'er, that little b asterisk tch, brought back something delicious. Children were the most gluttonous. They would run to wherever there was good food. Zhao Tianfu must have eaten something good and brought it back from Zhao Yun'er. When they walked to old Zhao's courtyard, Li Chuanying could smell the faint fragrance left in the air. Swallowing hard, Li Chuanying rushed into old Zhao's house to complain to Hua Chunhua. Mother, Li Chuanying went into the kitchen. Hua Chunhua was busy having lunch with her sisters-in-law. Old Zhao's sisters-in-law took turns to cook. Today, it was Li Chuanying's turn to cook with the fourth branch's Qianzhuzhe. However, she suddenly had a stomachache. When she went to take a dump, Feng Zhangxia took her place. Old Zhao's lunch was all vegetables picked from his garden, such as lettuce, spinach, chives, and chili. They were tired of eating these vegetables. The main thing was that there was no oil. Li Chuanying's mouth overflowed with saliva when she thought of the third branch's food. Hua Chunhua glanced at Li Chuanying and began to scold her. You lazy b asterisk tch. You've been taking a dump for half a day. Are you deliberately lazy and don't want to work? Chapter 104. Hua Chunhua rolled her eyes at Li Chueying. This damned woman really knew how to talk. She actually said things that others didn't know how to refute. Once you're done, go call your father and the others back for dinner. The food is already cooked, so there's no need for you to interfere. Old Zhao's fields were quite a distance away from the house. Li Chueying was a little unwilling to call them back for dinner, but he knew that he couldn't refuse Hua Chunhua. If he had known, he wouldn't have gone to shit. Hurry up and go, Hua Chunhua urged exasperatedly. Just then, the voices of Zhao Baoshan and the other men in the house came from inside the house. Li Chueying was delighted and said to Hua Chunhua, "Mother, look, father and the others are back. There's no need to call them back." Hua Chunhua said, "All right then, we'll get ready to eat later." Li Chueying grinned and went up to Hua Chunhua. "Mother, I have something important to tell you." "What is it? Hurry up and tell me. Why are you dawdling?" Hua Chunhua frowned and was a little displeased. "Mother, the people in the third branch are eating alone in the house. When I came back from shit, I saw Tianfu holding a bowl in his hand. He didn't come back after he went into the house." Hua Chunhua was furious when she heard this. She was the head of the household and hadn't separated from the family yet. When the family ate together, she hated eating alone. This was absolutely forbidden in old Zhao's house. "Really?" Hua Chunhua asked angrily. Li Chueying patted his chest and promised, "Mother, how can this be fake? I saw it with both of my eyes. It's not like your eyes are playing tricks on you. Why don't you go and take a look? She's probably eating right now." Hua Chunhua immediately rushed out of the kitchen and cursed. "The people of the third household are not honest at all. They even started to eat alone. If I catch them, I'll teach them a good lesson." Seeing Hua Chunhua's aggressive attitude, Li Chueying was secretly pleased. When she thought about how the fourth branch would be scolded later, she secretly felt happy. Hua Chunhua arrived in front of the third branch's room and kicked the door hard. The door was suddenly kicked open. The people in the room were obviously stunned. They did not expect Hua Chunhua to suddenly barge in. Zhao Ping was holding a bowl and eating happily. She had to admit that Zhao Yun'er's cooking was simply amazing. It was better than any fish she had ever eaten. Zhao Ping ate more than half of the big bowl of fish and fish soup by herself. Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua had not even tasted the food when Zhao Ping ate it all by herself. After all, she was her child. It was understandable that she would save some for her child. She did not say anything about Zhao Ping's behavior. She thought that Zhao Ping would be more or less grateful if she ate more of the food that Zhao Yun'er brought back. In this way, she would not be too prejudiced against Zhao Yun'er in the future. The moment Hua Chunhua entered the third branch's room, she smelled a strong aroma. Zhao Ping was eating with her head lowered. Her face immediately darkened. The third branch was really like what Li Chueying said. They were eating alone. Chapter 105. As Hua Chunhua spoke, she took off her shoes and hit Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao didn't dodge Hua Chunhua's beating and scolding. She lowered her head and endured it. Zhao Tianfu immediately came over to protect her. "Grandma, you can't hit my mother. My mother didn't eat alone. My second sister asked me to take it back." Hua Chunhua pushed Zhao Tianfu. Zhao Tianfu sat on the ground, but he didn't cry. Hua Chunhua scolded Zhao Tianfu instead. "Little brat, if this isn't eating alone, then what is it? No matter who gave you the food, you have to take it out and eat it as a family." Liang Jinxiao knew the rules of old Zhao's family. No matter what the reason was, they had to eat it together. She was in the wrong in this matter. So she said to Hua Chunhua, "Mom, I was wrong. This has nothing to do with Tianfu. Don't be so calculative with a child." Hua Chunhua glared at Liang Jinxiao. "Now you know you're wrong. I don't know how much you secretly eat." "Mom, how much can it be? Yun'er has a heart. Today, Tianfu said that she caught a few fish and cooked it herself. That's why she sent some over." Hua Chunhua thought about it and agreed. How much good food could Zhao Yun'er have? It was already not easy for her to not starve to death since she was able to feed herself. "I'll remember what happened today. If I find out later, you'll suffer." Hua Chunhua put away her shoes. Liang Jinxiao's body was already covered with bruises. "I know, Mom. It won't happen again." you're still thinking about the next time? Hua Chunhua rolled her eyes. Hua Chunhua asked Zhao Ping to bring it over when she saw that there was still a little bit of fish soup left in the bowl. I'll take the rest, Hua Chunhua said. Zhao Ping couldn't bear to hand it over, but she knew that if she didn't, Hua Chunhua would probably start scolding her again. She hadn't eaten enough yet. Seeing that there was not much left, Hua Chunhua still wanted to hold on to it. Hurry up, Hua Chunhua urged impatiently. Milk here. Zhao Ping handed the bowl over. Before Hua Chunhua left, she said to the people of the third branch, "You've eaten all the food by yourselves. You'll be hungry for lunch and dinner today. Don't come out to eat." After saying that, Hua Chunhua left with the bowl in her hand. Li Chuanying followed her out with a smile. Seeing that Liang Jinxiao had suffered because of Hua Chunhua, he gloated even more. Thinking of what Hua Chunhua said, they could eat more rice if the third branch didn't eat anymore. Li Chuanying stared at the fish in Hua Chunhua's hand and couldn't help swallowing saliva. He said to Hua Chunhua with a smile, "Mom, are we going to eat the fish together later?" Hua Chunhua stopped walking and said, "Don't eat it. Don't you see that there's only so much left in the bowl? Each of us won't be able to eat a single bite." Li Chuanying curled his lips. He was unwilling to give up. "But Mom, but what? There's still so much left." "Go back and give it to your younger sister. Your younger sister has been starving these days," Hua Chunhua said and walked towards Zhao Xinhui's room. She shouted from a distance, "Here, Mom made something good for you. Come and have a taste." Chapter 106. Li Chuanying secretly cursed the damned old woman behind her back as she thought of her own daughter. She was already so old, yet she was still unmarried. She wanted to shove all the good stuff into her hands. Didn't she work so hard just to have a bite? No. If she really found out that the third branch was eating alone, she would threaten the third branch herself. She couldn't let this old woman find out. That way, she could at least have a bite and satisfy her craving. Li Chuanying flung her sleeves. Forget it. She couldn't win against this old woman. She was shrewd. Hua Chunhua entered Zhao Xinhui's room. Zhao Xinhui came back with some wildflowers and was fiddling with them in front of the mirror on the table. They didn't have a bronze mirror at home. If she wanted to see her face clearly, she had to fill a basin with water and stand in front of the mirror. But the reflection in the water couldn't be clearer than a bronze mirror. When Xin Pan married into the family, she brought some dowry with her. She took a fancy to Shun Pan, bronze mirror, so Shun Pan generously gave it to her. So, in the entire old Zhao family, she was only slightly more polite to Shun Pan. She didn't treat anyone else nicely. Zhao Xinhui put a flower behind her ear, making her entire face appear more beautiful. Zhao Xinhui looked at herself in the mirror with satisfaction. When she saw Hua Chunhua enter, she asked Hua Chunhua, "Mother, look, do I look good?" Hua Chunhua came in to take a look. She had never seen Zhao Xinhui like this before. When she dressed up properly, she didn't lose out to the young ladies in the city. It was a small face that had completely inherited her and her old man's looks. "You look good, you look good. My Huir is the prettiest," Hua Chunhua praised repeatedly. When Zhao Xinhui heard Hua Chunhua's words, not only was she not happy, but she also had a bitter expression on her face. Hua Chunhua hurriedly asked, "What's wrong, Huia? Why do you look unhappy?" "Mother, what's the use of dressing up nicely? Look at me, it doesn't match at all. Didn't you say you would buy clothes and jewelry for me? Why haven't you bought them for me yet?" As soon as Hua Chunhua saw that Zhao Xinhui was unhappy, she became a little anxious and immediately coaxed, "Huia, it's not that Mother didn't keep her promise. It's just that I've been too busy these days. There's so much work in the fields that I can't leave." "So, Mother, when will you take me to buy it?" Zhao Xinhui asked and pursed his lips. "If you don't want to buy it from me, then forget it. At most, I don't want it." After that, Zhao Xinhui's face turned cold, as if she didn't want to talk to Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua hurriedly said, Bye. Mother will take you to the city tomorrow to buy, okay?" "Really? Of course it's true. Mother, you're still the best to me." Zhao Xinhui's face seemed to have changed and was instantly full of smiles. "Of course you're my daughter. If I don't treat you well, who will I treat well? Yes, yes. Mother, don't worry. If I marry Master Sheetsy in the future, I'll definitely take you to live a good life. I'll give you good food and good clothes every day. When the time comes, I'll buy you whatever you want. Hui Chunhua was coaxed by Zhao Xinhui and began to imagine her good life in the future. She was in an exceptionally good mood. Chapter 107. Hui'er, you'll look better if you eat more, Hui Chunhua added. Zhao Xinhui glanced at the bowl on the table and asked, Mother, is this fish? Yes, it should be. Zhao Xinhui leaned over and sniffed it. It smelled good, much better than the food she cooked at home. Mother, where did you get this? Hui Chunhua snorted at the mention of this. Yin gave it to the third branch. They ate it all by themselves, and I caught them. There's still a lot left, so I brought it over for you. Where did Zhao Yuner get it? She's really capable. She can even get delicious food. This fish is actually not a good thing. There's some in the river, but I don't know how this girl made it so fragrant. It smells delicious. We'll try it. Zhao Xinhui tasted it and said, It's delicious, Mother. Her fish is really delicious. You should cook it for me next time. Hui Chunhua laughed embarrassedly. How would I know how she made it? Then go and ask her. You don't have to ask. Let third sister-in-law do it. Hui Chunhua thought about it and agreed. She smiled and said, Okay. Let third sister-in-law ask. When she catches the fish, I'll cook it for you. Okay. On the other side, in the third branch's room, Zhao Ping complained in front of Liang Jinxiao. Mother, why is grandmother like this? Isn't it just a little food? If everyone eats it together, we won't be able to eat it. She only knows how to bully us. Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Ping. Pinger, don't talk nonsense. After all, it's our fault. Mother, what did we do wrong? There are many people who eat alone at home. Every time eldest cousin-in-law brings back delicious food from her parents' home, she eats it in her own room. She doesn't even take it out for us to eat. Zhao Ping felt a little indignant. Not to mention Shan Pan it wasn't like the other families hadn't eaten all of the money by themselves. Some of them even hid some of their own money. Only her parents were so honest. In fact, he was just a fool. Pinger, your cousin-in-law is different after all. We can't compare with her. How is it different? Isn't he also a member of old Zhao's family? Can our old Zhao family's rules be applied to her? Well, Liang Jinxiao sighed. He didn't know how to explain it to his daughter. There was no such thing as absolute fairness in this world. Shen Pan, family was different. Old Zhao's family didn't dare offend them. Mother, what should we do now? We can't eat for lunch and dinner. Won't we starve to death? After Zhao Ping finished complaining, Liang Jinxiao was just about to say that they should bear with it for today, but Zhao Ping opened her mouth again. Mother, let's go to Zhao Yun's place to eat. She has delicious food there too. Pinger, it's not good. Your younger sister doesn't have it easy. Mother, it's not a big deal. Isn't it just 2 meals? You usually send her so much food. What's wrong with us going to eat a little? We can't starve for a whole day, right? Liang Jinxiao thought for a while and agreed. He would eat a little when he went there, so as not to burden Zhao Yun. He also knew that if he didn't go, he didn't know how his eldest daughter would make a fuss later. So he said, Okay, then let's go at night. Your younger sister should have eaten by now. You ate some for lunch, so you shouldn't be hungry anymore, right? Chapter 108. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun picked a big fish and sent it to Mulan. After all, Mulan had defended her before, so she wanted to thank her for it. When it was time for Family Zhu, the men of Family Zhu all went to work in the fields. It was the busiest time for farming. The women of Family Zhu were at home. As soon as they entered the courtyard of Family Zhu, they heard the cries of the Family Zhu's child. It was probably the child of Mulan's sister-in-law. The child was crying miserably. In the courtyard of Family Zhu, Mulan was doing some small chores. These days, she had brought back some bamboo from the mountains and was now weaving some bamboo baskets and wicker baskets. There were already some woven baskets on the ground at the side. They looked very delicate and were very good. Zhao Yun didn't know that Mulan was so skillful in weaving these things. However, these baskets and wicker baskets could be sold for money in the town. Sister Mulan, Zhao Yun called out. Mulan turned to look at Zhao Yun. She stopped what she was doing and said with a smile, Yun, why are you here? Zhao Yun said, I caught some fish and sent one to you. Zhao Yun walked to Mulan's side and waved the fish in her hand in front of Mulan. I picked the biggest fish for you. Sister Yun, you're too polite. You should keep it for yourself. Why did you send it to me? It's okay. I have a lot of fish at home. It's good to let you try it. It tastes good. Hearing Zhao Yun's words, Mulan didn't refuse. In fact, fish was not particularly expensive in the countryside. It was much worse than meat. Sister Yun, thank you. You're welcome. Zhao Yun smiled and pointed to the basket on the ground. Sister Mulan, I didn't know you could make this before. This is what my father taught me. Now that I'm free, I'll make a few of them. If this basket is sold in the town later, if one of them is good, it can be sold for 10 copper coins. At least it can supplement the family's expenses. Zhao Yun nodded and said, That's right. But Sister Mulan, you have to work hard. Fortunately, I'm not tired. I'm not working in the field. San-Er's father and the other men working in the field are the ones who are tired. While the two were chatting, Mulan's mother-in-law, Mrs. Zhu, came out of the house. Third daughter-in-law, who are you talking to? When she came out and saw Zhao Yun, her face suddenly turned ugly. Why do you talk to everyone? You even brought a dubious person home and chatted happily. Zhao Yun saw that Mrs. Zhu's eyes were very unkind. Was she talking about the dubious person? Her reputation in the village was indeed bad. She didn't expect that this family Zhu's mother-in-law didn't avoid it at all. She directly said this sentence in front of her. She was really unwilling to put on a show. Mulan glanced at Zhao Yun awkwardly. She knew that her mother-in-law's words must have made Zhao Yun sad. Facing Mrs. Zhu's dark face, Mulan explained, Mother, Sister Yun came here this time to bring us fish to eat. Mulan said as she took the fish from Zhao Yun's hand and handed it to old Madame Zhu. Chapter 109. She snorted softly and didn't reprimand Mulan and Zhao Yun anymore. Mrs. Zhu was too snobbish. If Zhao Yun hadn't brought a big fish over, she might have been driven out of family Zhu's courtyard. Mulan also breathed a sigh of relief. If Mrs. Zhu had driven Zhao Yun away, she wouldn't know how to face Zhao Yun. Mrs. Zhu pointed at the fish brought over by Zhao Yun and said to Mulan, Make more fish and send more to your sister-in-law tonight. Mulan replied, Got it, Mother. When Mrs. Zhu was about to enter the room, the baby's cries came from Mulan's sister-in-law's room again. The cries were intermittent. One moment he cried, and the next he stopped. Family Zhu's old lady frowned. I don't know what's wrong with him these days. He's always crying. Did something happen to him? Mulan put the fish into the wooden basin and said to Mrs. Zhu, Mother, I'll go and have a look. I'll go and have a look too. Family Zhu's old lady said. The baby had been crying a lot these days. She thought it was normal. After all, there were only a few children who didn't cry. However, it seemed that something was wrong with the baby for several days. They went into the room together. Family Zhu's eldest daughter-in-law, Madame Qi, was lying on the bed. The baby was beside her, crying loudly. Family Zhu's old lady's attitude towards Madame Qi was not bad. She asked softly, Eldest daughter-in-law, why is my eldest grandson crying like this? Mother, I don't know. But there's something on Huer's forehead. I don't know if it's the reason why he's crying. Madame Zhu went in to have a look. She found that there was indeed something on the baby's face and head. It was a layer of dry skin, and some of it was a lump of nodules. Old Madame Zhu didn't know what it was either. She muttered, How did my eldest grandson grow something? The child is crying nonstop. It must be because of this. Mother, what should we do? Was Huer's condition serious? Will it be okay? Madame Qi asked with a frown. I don't know. I've never seen anyone's child with it. Mother, why don't we call a doctor over? Family Zhu's old lady's face. Why should we call a doctor? It's normal for there to be something on a child's face. If we call a doctor's all, we'll be able to get a lot of money. Madame Qi's of the family's old ladies was even a doctor's SSC. Seeing that old Madame Zhu was reluctant to part with the silver, Madame Chi didn't say anything else. She also felt that there should be nothing wrong. Zhao Yun came closer to take a look and knew what was going on at a glance. Her friend's child also had something like this, so she knew a little about it. This baby, who was less than 2 months old, had eczema on his forehead. I know what it is, Zhao Yun couldn't help but say when she saw how pitiful the baby was. It wasn't a big deal, but if it wasn't handled well, the baby would suffer. Madame Zhu glanced at Zhao Yun and snorted. I don't know what it is. How would you know? Chapter 110. Mulan said, Mother, you can't say that. There are so many things in this world. What if Yun'er knows something? After Mulan finished speaking, she glanced at her as if she was afraid of Family Zhu. Old Madame Family Zhu glared at Mulan unhappily. Mulan was so scared that she quickly lowered her head. However, she felt that Mulan was right. Although she did not admit it, she knew that Mulan's words made sense. Thus, she said to Zhao Yun, since you know, then tell me what it is. This is eczema. It's most common in children when they are 1 or 2 months old. How can it be treated? Old Madame Family Zhu asked. It was useless to just know what it was. She had to know how to treat it. In the 21st century, children who had eczema were basically smeared with some ointment. There was definitely no ointment in this era. The child's eczema was not very serious. It might be better if he paid more attention to other aspects and did not use any ointment. Looking at the environment in Madame Chi's room, she reminded her to open the doors and windows and not close them tightly. The child's clothes should not be too wrapped up. In addition, Madame Chi had to pay attention to the child's diet. The child's eczema was also related to the mother's milk. It's best to eat less spicy and stimulating food. Also, you can't eat things like fish. Auntie, you can't let sister-in-law taste the fish I send over. Judging by this, it will probably get better in 2 days, Zhao Yun said. Old Madame Family Zhu was skeptical of Zhao Yun's words. However, seeing that Zhao Yun spoke in an orderly manner, it did not seem like she was lying. Anyway, she did not have to pay for it. There was no harm in following Zhao Yun's instructions and giving it a try. However, Madame Chi was a little unhappy. Mother, if I can't eat this and that, then what should I eat? Old Madame Family Zhu looked at Madame Chi. Just bear with it for a while. Otherwise, what will happen to her? If you don't want her to get better, then continue eating. Madame Chi pursed her lips. She wanted to eat, but she also wanted her child to be well. It wasn't easy for her to give birth to a child. After such a long time, she was able to eat a little more good food. If she was controlled like this, she wouldn't be able to eat anything good again. Mother, then I won't eat it, Madame Chi said. After leaving Family Zhu, Zhao Yun took 2 fish to Annie Lu's house. Annie Lu was sitting at the door facing the light outside, sewing something in her hands. Zhao Yun walked closer and saw that Annie Lu was making cloth shoes. In ancient times, the clothes and shoes on their feet were all made by themselves. The cloth shoes that were made were much sturdier and more comfortable to wear than the shoes bought in the 21st century. It was just that the cloth shoes were a little more troublesome to make. The stitches were very fine, and every stitch and thread would take at least 1 or 2 days to make a pair of shoes. Aunt Lu, Zhao Yun called out. Annie Lu was so focused on making shoes that she didn't hear Zhao Yun's footsteps. Ah, Yun, you're here. When Annie Lu saw Zhao Yun, there was a smile on her face. When she smiled, she looked even more amiable. Yes, Annie Lu, I caught some fish and brought 2 for you, Zhao Yun said. Hey, you little girl, you could just keep the fish for yourself. Why did you bring them to me? It's okay. There are still many fish at home. Chapter 111. Annie Lu had always been so polite, which made Zhao Yun a little embarrassed. She had finally gotten something good and sent it over, but Annie Lu wanted to return it. Zhao Yun knew Annie Lu's character. Even if she said she didn't want it, Annie Lu would definitely give it to her. Fortunately, these cloth shoes were not worth much, or else she would be embarrassed to accept it. Thank you, Auntie. Auntie Lu smiled and waved her hand. You're welcome. I have a lot of free time at home anyway. Dao Du is a child, and he grows up quickly. Soon, the shoes won't fit him. Auntie Lu, teach me later. I'll learn too, Zhao Yuner said. Her needlework was still passable, and she could only mend clothes. She really didn't know how to make shoes. Okay, but Yuner, didn't your mother teach you this before? Zhao Yuner shook her head. No, I forgot when I taught it when I was young. It's okay. Learn from Auntie in the future. Auntie will teach you. Okay. Auntie Lu put down the needlework in her hand and put Zhao Yuner's fish into a wooden basin. She put some water in it and prepared to eat it at night. The men in the family went out to work. Auntie Lu also had 2 sons, and they hadn't separated yet. Now, one daughter-in-law went back to her mother's house, and the other went out to gather pigweed. The people in the countryside would raise some livestock. Other than some chickens and ducks, they would also raise pigs. A pig could be sold during the new year. Not only could they get some money, but they could also leave some for their family. Then, they wouldn't have to sell meat anymore. Zhao Yun saw that Auntie Lu's pigsty was built outside. In ancient times, pigs were not fed with pig feed, but with pigweed or bran. This way of raising pigs could save a lot of food, and the pigs tasted better than the pork of the 21st century. Mother, I'm back. Not far away, a woman in her early 30s walked in. It was Auntie Lu's eldest daughter-in-law, Zhou Shi. Zhou Shi was wearing plain clothes, and her hair was combed neatly. It was probably because he had been working for a long time that his skin was a little dark. He was 30 years old and looked a little old, but one look and one could tell that he was a person who was doing his job. Madame Zhou carried a basket on her back, which was filled with pigweed. She had gone to gather pigweed just now. Seeing Zhao Yuner coming, Mrs. Zhou also greeted Zhao Yuner with a smile. Yuner, you're here. Hello, sister-in-law. Madame Zhou smiled and put down the basket in her hand. Mother, I'm going to feed the pigs. It's spring, so there's a lot of pigweed. Our little pigs can grow fat. Haha, that's good. Go ahead. Yes. There were 3 little pigs in the pigsty. The big pig had been killed and sold at the end of last year. These were all captured not long ago. Mrs. Zhou skillfully put the pigweed into the pigsty and muttered a few words. A few piglets ran over and began to fight for the pigweed. Zhao Yuner looked at the piglets. They were pink and tender and looked quite cute. Hearing Mrs. Zhou's words, Zhao Yuner began to think about whether she should raise 2 little pigs. Not to mention exchanging them for money. After killing them, Daodu could eat a lot of pork. Pigs ate pigweed and bran, so it didn't cost much to raise a pig. Chapter 112. The price of a piglet is a little more expensive than the price of pork. My piglet weighs 15 kilograms, and it costs 20 copper coins per kilogram. So, a piglet costs 600 copper coins. Aunt Lu explained. Zhao Yuner nodded. It sounded a little expensive, but when the piglet grew up, she could earn a lot more. Why, Yuner, do you want to raise a pig too? Aunt Lu asked with concern. Zhao Yun shook her head and said, I don't plan to raise one now. I don't have a pigsty at home, and I usually have to take care of Daodu. I can't get away. Aunt Lu nodded and said, That's right. The most important thing now is to take care of the child. Fortunately, Daodu is sensible and can save you a lot of trouble. Speaking of Daodu, Aunt Lu's eyes were filled with a gentle smile. Auntie Lu liked children. In ancient times, most people preferred boys. However, although Auntie Lu had 2 sons and both sons were married, she didn't have a grandson until now. She had 3 granddaughters. The first branch gave birth to 2 daughters, and the second branch gave birth to 1 daughter. So now, Aunt Lu hoped that the 2 daughters-in-law would continue to give birth to a grandson. The more anxious she was to give birth to children, the more the 2 daughters-in-law's bellies didn't show any signs of pregnancy. Although Aunt Lu was depressed, there was nothing she could do. Although the 2 daughters-in-law hadn't given birth to a son, she was still good to her daughters-in-law. If it were in other families, the mother-in-law would probably pick on the daughters-in-law every day. God Lu didn't say anything, but the 2 daughters-in-law felt guilty and were more filial to Aunt Lu. Usually, if there was any work at home, they would rush to do it. Auntie Lu rarely interfered. Mother, I'm done feeding them. Now, I'll send some water to Father and the others. Mrs. Zhou said. Zhao Yuner looked at Mrs. Zhou and felt a little restless. She was really hardworking. Aunt Lu called Mrs. Zhou and said, "You've just finished. Take a rest." Mrs. Zhou wiped the beads of sweat on her forehead and said with a smile, "Mother, I'm fine. I'm not tired." "All right, then." Looking at Madame Zhou's departing figure, Auntie Lu sighed and said, "My daughter-in-law is good in every way. She's hardworking, but she's not like Yuner. She's only left with a boy." Zhao Yuner smiled awkwardly and comforted Annie Lu. "Annie Lu, don't worry. You'll have a grandson to hold. Boys and girls were all the same. People had to be filial. Auntie, don't you agree?" Auntie Lu chuckled and said, "You're the only one who knows how to talk. I don't care. It's just that the other villagers won't gossip if there's a boy. Sigh, but let's take it slow. Our Lu family has never done anything bad in our lifetime. I believe that we won't be left without descendants." Zhao Yuner responded and then asked, "Annie Lu, I heard you say that your bitch gave birth to a puppy. Now I want to catch one. Can you give me one?" Auntie Lu quickly said, "Of course. I'm thinking about how to send it in the future. Come, I'll catch one for you." As she spoke, Auntie Lu led Zhao Yuner to the kennel. The kennel was close to the pigsty and not in the house. It was arranged outside. The dog could also guard the pigsty. If someone came to steal the pigs and made a noise, the family would know. Chapter 113. On top of the straw lay a big white dog, and there were 4 or 5 puppies in the kennel. Among these puppies, 4 of them had white fur, just like the female dog. The puppies were all lying on the female dog's body, sucking milk with all their might. The puppies weren't very big, just a little bigger than a mouse. Looking at these cute puppies, Zhao Yuner couldn't wait to get one and play with it in her hands. However, these puppies couldn't be casually touched by strangers. The female dog protected the puppies. If Zhao Yuner touched the puppies, she would definitely be bitten by the female dog. At this moment, another puppy's whining came from the kennel. Zhao Yuner took a closer look and found that there was a small black dog curled up in a small corner. It was whining as if it was crying. This black puppy's fur color was clearly different from the other dogs in the kennel. The black puppy's body was thinner than the other white puppies. Looking at its pitiful appearance, it really made one's heart ache. Auntie Lu said, "Sigh, little black is being ostracized again." Zhao Yuner looked at Auntie Lu, puzzled. She didn't understand what Auntie Lu meant. Auntie Lu explained, "This little black's fur is different from the other puppies. Every time it wants to drink milk, my big white won't let it drink. It has to be the other puppies who finish drinking before it can drink a few mouthfuls. Little black often whines when it's hungry. It's really pitiful." When Zhao Yuner heard this, she felt that little black was pitiful, but she also wanted to laugh. Auntie Lu's big white was really interesting. Normally, female dogs would treat their children equally, but because little black's fur color didn't follow her, she treated little black so differently. After Auntie Lu finished speaking, she called out to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner girl, take a look yourself. There's so many puppies here. Which one do you want?" Zhao Yuner glanced at them. In fact, she didn't care about any of them. Little Hay was the most pitiful. It was still whimpering, so she said to Auntie Lu, "Auntie Lu, why don't you give Little Hay to me?" "Little Black? That's good too. If you bring it back, Xiao Hay won't be bullied anymore," said Aunt Lu. She bent down and picked up Blackie from the kennel. The boy glanced at Auntie Lu, but he didn't have much of a reaction. Instead, he licked the other puppies that were nursing. The boy didn't care about Little Hay at all. After Auntie Lu put some distance between them, she handed Little Hay to Zhao Yuner and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner girl, Little Hay is yours. You could take it back." Zhao Yuner held Little Hay in her hands. Little Hay's body was a little soft. Once it was in Zhao Yuner's hands, Little Hay stopped whimpering. It stared at Zhao Yuner with its black eyes. It looked very obedient. This little black puppy seemed to be intelligent. Zhao Yuner immediately liked it. She rubbed Little Hay's head and said to Little Hay, "Little Hay, don't cry. I'll feed you when we go back. I'll treat you well." Little Hay whimpered twice, as if it was responding to Zhao Yuner. Then, it licked Zhao Yuner's hand with its small, soft tongue. Auntie Lu, little Hay is very intelligent, Zhao Yuner said with a smile. The Bai is smart too. It's normal that little Hay is smart too. Oh, Auntie Lu, what should I feed little Hay when we go back? Can little Hay eat rice? Chapter 114. Auntie Lu nodded. Of course it can. Puppies are different from humans. Humans can't eat rice for a month or two, but puppies can. Zhao Yun breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Otherwise, she wouldn't know where to find milk to feed this puppy. Little Yun it will take a few more months for little Black to grow up. Don't worry, there's no rush. Huh. Zhao Yun carried little Black back from Auntie Lu's place. Little Black glanced at the Bai and whimpered a few times. On the way back, he stopped crying. Along the way, little Black's black eyes glanced at Zhao Yun from time to time. When they reached home, Zhao Yun called Daodu over. Daodu, Mom caught a puppy for you. Daodu was playing with mud in a corner with Zhao Yun. Upon hearing that Zhao Yun had caught a puppy, he immediately ran over. Mom, where's the puppy? Zhao Yun handed the puppy in her hands to Daodu. Look, isn't it cute? Daodu stared at little Black in Zhao Yun's hands and tapped it. Little animals were also very fond of children. Daodu immediately fell in love with little Black, and a bright smile appeared on his little face. It's cute, Mom. It's really cute. Can I hug it? Daodu's eyes sparkled as he looked at Zhao Yun with anticipation. Zhao Yun smiled. Of course you can. Come, Daodu, be careful not to drop it. Okay. Little Black didn't resist at all when he was in Daodu's hands. He obediently laid on Daodu's little hands and even stuck out his pink tongue to lick Daodu's palm. It tickled when he licked it, and Daodu giggled. Mother, it's licking my hand. Daodu giggled. Does Daodu like it? I like it. Daodu carefully carried little Black into his arms, afraid that he would hurt little Black. Daodu, give it a name, Zhao Yun said. The little puppy had to have a name. Daodu glanced at little Black and said, Mother, his fur is black, so let's call him Little Black. Zhao Yun's mouth twitched. Little Black? Ha! Wouldn't that be the same as not having a name? Mother, can I call him Little Black? Daodu asked carefully. Zhao Yun patted Daodu's head and said, Of course you can. Okay, then we'll have a Little Black in our family from now on. Daodu hugged Little Black happily. Let's go make a kennel for Little Black. Zhao Yun led Daodu to a dilapidated wooden basin. She put some grass in it and placed 2 unwanted rags on top. Mother, Little Black is hungry. Shouldn't we get him something to eat? Daodu asked. Little Black licked Daodu's hand, and it looked like he was hungry. The Bai didn't give him any milk at Auntie Lu's place, so it was normal for him to be hungry. Okay, Mother will get him something to eat. Zhao Yun went into the kitchen. She had saved some fish soup for lunch, and there was still some porridge left over. Zhao Yun mixed the fish soup and porridge together and brought it to Little Black. Little Black smelled the fish soup, probably because it tasted good. Then, he crawled over and started eating from the bowl. Not long after, Little Black finished the bowl of fish soup and porridge. Chapter 115. After Little Hay ate Zhao Yun's meal, it became even more attached to Daodu. For the whole afternoon, Daodu and Zhao Tianfu played with Daodu, while Zhao Yun was busy with other things. The vegetable garden had to be tended, watered, and fertilized every day. As evening approached, Zhao Yun began to prepare dinner again. In the evening, one dish was braised fish, and the other was boiled snakehead, plus a bowl of wild vegetables. Although there were only 3 dishes, it was a lot, and they were few, so it was enough to eat. Even including Zhao Tianan, there were only 4 people who came to eat at night. None of them had a big appetite. But what Zhao Yun didn't expect was that Zhao Ping, and Liang Jinxiao also came at night. Zhao Yun thought that they came over for something, so after asking, they wanted to stay for dinner. The 2 of them happened to come at dinner time, and there was no notice before. She didn't add 2 more servings for dinner. After listening to Liang Jinxiao's explanation, Zhao Yun could not let them stay. After all, it was only the mother of the original owner, who had no choice but to come over for dinner. If she refused, she would be a bit too much. The meal wasn't ready yet, so Zhao Yun continued to be busy in the kitchen. Liang Jinxiao wanted to go into the kitchen to help Zhao Yun but was persuaded to rest outside by Zhao Yun This time, Liang Jinxiao came over, pulled a long face, and still felt embarrassed. Zhao Yun asked her to sit and rest, but it made her a little restless. Zhao Ping smelled the fragrance coming from the kitchen and couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She was curious about how Zhao Yun's food could be so fragrant. Smelling this smell, she felt that it was unusually captivating. No matter what it must be good food. In comparison, eating at Zhao Yun's place was much better than eating at old Zhao's place. Zhao Ping didn't eat much at noon. Now that she was hooked by the aroma, her stomach began to growl. Zhao Ping grumbled, "Zhao Yun why are you cooking so slowly? Are you doing it on purpose? I'm starving. Hurry up and serve me the dishes." Zhao Ping thought that Zhao Yun couldn't hear her in the kitchen, but in fact, Zhao Yun could hear her clearly. He snorted coldly. If not for Liang Jinxiao's presence, she would have kicked Zhao Ping out. Zhao Yun knew that once she chased Zhao Ping away, Liang Jinxiao would definitely feel embarrassed and would probably leave as well. She didn't eat at noon. If she didn't eat at night, her body wouldn't be able to stand it. Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Ping. "Can you stop talking? It's not easy for Yun to cook." "Mother, aren't I hungry? Aren't you hungry?" Liang Jinxiao touched his stomach. He was indeed hungry. "Let's wait a little longer. Anyway, it should be ready soon." After the rice in the pot was stewed, Zhao Yun brought out the rice and invited them to eat. Seeing Daodu standing outside, Zhao Yun asked, "Daodu, why don't you come in? It's time to eat." Hearing Zhao Yun's words, Daodu ran to Zhao Yun and hugged Zhao Yun's leg. He glanced at Zhao Ping. Obviously, he saw that Zhao Ping was scared. Last time, Zhao Ping slapped Daodu. Daodu was probably still traumatized. Chapter 116. Zhao Yun's words coaxed Daodu. Before the others sat down, Zhao Ping saw the dishes on the table and began to eat. "Zhao Yun, I didn't expect you to have so much delicious food at home." Zhao Ping muttered as she ate. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping and was very disgusted. The people at the table had not started eating, but she ate first. She said to Zhao Ping in a displeased tone, "Mother hasn't even touched her chopsticks, and you're eating by yourself. Isn't that bad? You're already an adult. Don't you know the rules?" Zhao Ping was reprimanded by Zhao Yun and was immediately unhappy. What right did this little B***TCH have to scold her? "I'm hungry. It's not like I'm not allowing you to eat. Mother can eat by herself." "Zhao Yun, I'm your elder sister. How can you talk to your elder sister like this? Who's the one who doesn't know the rules?" Zhao Ping muttered, but her hands did not stop moving. A large piece of braised fish was placed in her bowl. The plate of braised fish was not much. Zhao Ping ate more than half of it. It seemed that she did not care about the others and continued to eat by herself. Zhao Yun was suddenly furious and almost hit Zhao Ping. Liang Jinxiao stopped Zhao Yun and gave her a look. "Yun, don't bother with Ping." For Liang Jinxiao's sake, Zhao Yun held back. This was the first and last time. If Zhao Ping made any more trouble later, she would definitely not let it go easily. "Ping, Yun is right to scold you. You're a big girl. Don't you know how to be more reserved? No matter what, you should wait for others to eat together, right?" "Mother, aren't you long-winded? Why are you so disappointing when you're eating?" Liang Jinxiao sighed. "Ping, you're already so old. When will you be more sensible? What will you do when you marry into your husband's family in the future?" Zhao Yun sneered in her heart. With Zhao Ping's appearance, it would be strange if she could marry. As long as the man's eyes were not blind, Zhao Ping would not be accepted even if she was given to others. "Mother, how am I not sensible? Why are you nagging? Are you going to eat or not?" Zhao Yun was afraid that Zhao Ping would finish all the food alone, so she hurriedly asked the others to hurry up and eat. The table full of food was not enough for Zhao Ping alone. In addition to a bowl of rice, Liang Jinxiao ate some wild vegetables and only a few pieces of fish. Zhao Yun was about to give the last bit of fish soup to Dao Du, but Zhao Ping beat her to it and put it into the bowl. Zhao Ping, don't you know how to respect the old and love the young? Don't you know how much you've eaten alone? Zhao Yun was so angry that she put down the bowl and chopsticks and slapped the table. If she endured it any longer, she would definitely suffocate. Zhao Yun, I only ate a little bit of food from your house. Do you have to be like this? Oh, a little bit of food? If you have the ability, don't eat it for me. You really treat it as your own house. Don't be so polite. What do you mean? Zhao Ping was also angry. She put down the bowl and chopsticks unhappily, stood up, put her hands on her waist, and faced Zhao Yun. Chapter 117. Zhao Ping was not as strong as Zhao Yun, so Zhao Yun could only push her away. After throwing her out, she yelled at Liang Jinxiao. Mom, look at Zhao Yun. Isn't she too much? Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Yun, then looked at Zhao Ping, and sighed. Both of them were her daughters, so she could not side with either of them. Zhao Ping had indeed gone a little overboard today. Originally, the family was eating happily together, but she had unknowingly eaten so much. Zhao Yun should have said a few words. All right, Ping, let's go back when you're done eating. Don't make a fuss and attract other people's ridicule. Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Ping, then walked out of the house and said to Zhao Yun, her mom is done eating. I'll go back first. Zhao Yun nodded and said, Okay, Mom. Take care. It's a little dark. Be careful on the road. I know. As Liang Jinxiao spoke, she pulled Zhao Ping away. If they stayed any longer, Liang Jinxiao was afraid that the two sisters would fight. If that happened, the family would see each other frequently in the future. It would be very awkward. On the way, Zhao Ping complained to Liang Jinxiao. Mom, you're biased. Why didn't you scold Zhao Yun for her behavior? Why did you let me go? Ping she's your sister. It's enough that we came here to eat. You ate so much tonight. How can Yun be happy? Isn't it just eating? Mom, we're a family. She has so many things that belong to you. It's fine if you don't want the money, but you don't want the food either? I think we can eat at her place in the future. Eating with Grandpa and Grandma is not as good as eating at Zhao Yun's place. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping. Yun only caught fish today. She can't catch fish usually. How can there be anything delicious? Let's not burden her. Mom, all right, stop talking. Let's go back quickly. The next morning, Zhao Yun got up and prepared to go to Yang City. When she woke up, she kept the porridge warm in the pot. When Dao Du woke up, she could eat it by herself, so she didn't wake him up. Last night, Zhao Tianfu had stayed to sleep with them. Now, the two little guys were lying on the bed. When she left, Zhao Yun gently closed the door. When they arrived at Old Man Hu's house, they were surprised to find that Mulan had also gone into the city. She had brought a lot of baskets. The baskets should be sold in the city. When she saw Zhao Yun, Mulan was also a little happy. Yun, why are you going to the town too? Zhao Yun smiled. Didn't I tell you yesterday that I caught fish? I'm going to the town to sell fish today. Oh, that's the best. The two of us can accompany each other. Zhao Yun nodded and said, yes. She thought that with Mulan's company, the journey might not be so boring. Just as Papa, who was about to leave with the carriage, he heard Hua Chunhua's anxious voice. Wait a moment, wait a moment. Hua Chunhua shouted at Old Man, who while urging Zhao Xinhui to hurry up. Hurry up. If you slow down, Father Hu's carriage will leave. I told you to hurry up. You've been dawdling all morning. Chapter 118. Zhao Xinhui touched her hairstyle and felt satisfied. As a girl, she couldn't make do when she went out. After all, she could see other men at any time. What if she met a good man, but he didn't take a fancy to her because of her sloppy appearance? Hey, okay, hurry up and get on the carriage. Wu Chunhua didn't know what to say to Zhao Xinhui, so she urged her. Zhao Xinhui nodded. When Old Man Whose Ox carriage stopped, she got on. Old Man Whose Ox carriage carried a lot of people this time, so it was a little crowded. Zhao Xinhui glanced at the people on the carriage with some disdain. She raised her head proudly, as if she felt that she was too different from the people on the carriage when she was dressed so beautifully and cleanly. These people didn't deserve to sit with her. "Mother, how can I sit on this carriage?" Zhao Xinhui complained and looked at Hu Chunhua. Zhao Xinhui didn't go to the city many times. Most of the time, she stayed in the village. However, every time she saw Shan Pan come back, she came back in a carriage. Compared to a carriage, the difference between an ox carriage and a carriage was too big. Why can't we sit on it? Everyone is sitting on it. If we don't sit on it, how can we go to the town? Hu Chunhua didn't expect that her daughter could cause so much trouble when she went to the town once. Now, she really felt tired. She could only coax Zhao Xinhui. "Mother, it's so dirty." Zhao Xinhui frowned in disgust. When the people on the carriage saw Zhao Xinhui, they all showed a disdainful expression. They had never seen a girl in the village so pretentious. "But what should we do? We only have an ox carriage to go to the town. Don't tell me we don't go." Hu Chunhua asked. Zhao Xinhui disliked it, but there was nothing she could do. How could she not go to the city? She was still thinking about packing her clothes. Just as Zhao Xinhui was about to take a seat, a few women started chattering and scolding her. "Just don't sit if you think it's dirty. Do you really think you're a young lady from a rich family? Do you have a carriage to pick you up? That's right. Why doesn't she take a look at her own status? Everyone is sitting properly, and she's the only one who says it's dirty. Maybe he thinks he's different from us? Sigh, there are some people who don't have the life of a young miss, but think of themselves as one. Old Man Who, let's hurry up and leave. It's not like he's interested in your ox cart." Each of these women was more venomous than the other. As Zhao Yun listened, she felt that she could accept the words of these women. A pretentious person like Zhao Xinhui should be scolded like this, so that she could see the situation clearly and recognize herself. Hearing these words, Zhao Xinhui clenched his fists tightly and glared at these women. At home, she was the treasure. No one had ever talked about her like this. "Shut up, all of you. Who allowed you to talk about me like this?" Zhao Xinhui shouted at these women. However, Zhao Xinhui's words did not make any waves. These women's mocking voices grew louder. "Oh, who do you think you are? Why aren't you talking? We're telling the truth, not talking nonsense. If you don't want others to talk about you, then don't be so pretentious." Chapter 119. Haha, even if she offered herself to my family, I wouldn't want her. Didn't we marry a girl like her just to serve her? Who would be so stupid? Marrying a daughter-in-law is to serve us, not to serve her. Sigh, I wonder which family will be so unlucky in the future. When Zhao Yun'er heard this, she couldn't help but laugh out loud. However, she still tried her best not to laugh. If she really laughed out loud, Zhao Xinhui would probably bear a grudge against her, and old Zhao's family would make trouble for her. After all, Zhao Xinhui was a girl. Although she was a little willful, she really could not outtalk these women in the village. Zhao Xinhui was so angry that she started crying when she was outnumbered. She was not as terrible as they said. As soon as Hu Chunhua saw her daughter crying, she immediately became angry. These cheese dared to bully her precious daughter. Hu Chunhua spat at these women who were scolding Zhao Xinhui. "Try saying that again. Let's see if I will tear your mouths apart." Hu Chunhua put her hands on her waist and looked like a shrew. The women who were spat on felt disgusted. Hu Chunhua's saliva was on their faces. That was not all. More importantly, Hu Chunhua's saliva was smelly and made them feel nauseous. "Old Lady Hua, don't you think you've gone too far? What's wrong? You can't argue with us, so why are you attacking us?" The women on the ox cart were not soft-hearted. After being spat on, how could they tolerate it? "I won't talk about my daughter. What's wrong with that?" Hu Chunhua said angrily. She was very tough. We're telling the truth. Why can't we tell the truth? No wonder your daughter is still single. With a mother like you, she's not much better off. My daughter is going to be the wife of an official in the future. Do Do you think she's going to be married off casually like your daughters? Hua Chunhua said angrily. In fact, she also had such expectations in her heart. Her daughter was so beautiful. What if the heir took a fancy to her? At that time, their entire family would be rich and powerful. Let's see what these women would say. Oh, old Madam Hua, are you really dreaming? Your daughter can become the wife of an official? Ha ha ha. You don't even want an ordinary family, and you still want to be an official's wife? Some people just like to dream. There's nothing I can do about it. Ha ha. I'm dying of laughter. Another wave of mocking and ridiculing voices sounded. Hua Chunhua had a fiery temper. She slapped the women in front of her. Did he really hit someone? Come, let's fight then. You were the one who made the first move. Everyone has seen it. When we get to Lijiang, don't say that we're unreasonable and that we're bullying you with numbers. As a result, the women and Hua Chunhua began to quarrel. Zhao Yuner pulled Mulan to the side so that they wouldn't get hurt. Hua Chunhua was no match for these women. No matter how good she was, she couldn't fight against so many of them at once. As a result, a few scratches appeared on Hua Chunhua's face. Zhao Xinhui watched from the side and could only feel anxious. He couldn't go forward to help Hua Chunhua. She wasn't afraid of anything else. What she was afraid of was that these women would accidentally scratch her face. This face was very important to her. She couldn't let anything happen to it. Chapter 120. Before Zhao Yun could react, Zhao Xinhui angrily commanded Zhao Yun Zhao Yun, you wretched girl. Can't you see that your grandmother is being beaten up? Why are you standing there instead of helping her? Are you waiting for your grandmother to be beaten up? Zhao Yun frowned. She sneered in her heart. Zhao Xinhui was really interesting. Zhao Yun still did not help. These women were not good people. If she got involved, wouldn't she be beaten up for nothing? She was not that stupid. She asked coldly with a hint of sarcasm. Auntie, you're wrong. Aren't you also standing there? Why are you scolding me now? You're her daughter. If you want to help, you should be the first to rush up. Besides, grandmother is so good to you. It's not right if you don't help now. You're so unfilial. Zhao Yun made Zhao Xinhui speechless. This little b asterisk tch was so eloquent. In the past, no matter what she ordered Zhao Yun to do, Zhao Yun would never say a word. They're beating people to death. They're beating people to death. Hua Chunhua shouted. Zhao Xinhui stomped her feet and glared at Zhao Yun. This little b asterisk tch. She did not have time to argue with her today. She would definitely ask her mother to teach her a lesson later. All right, stop fighting. Papa who had been smoking his pipe, raised his voice and shouted, if you want to fight, take your time. My ox cart is leaving, so I won't wait for you. If you want to go into the city by car, then stop. After Old Man Who said this, the woman who was fighting immediately stopped her movements. Although they were angry, they did not forget that the most important thing today was to go to the city. They could not be delayed by other things. Forget it. I'll just take it that I was bitten by a dog. Get in the car. I'm still hoping to sell something today. Let's not argue with this crazy woman. Let's go. Daddy who, let's go. The women got into the car one after another, fighting with Hua Chunhua. These people didn't get any benefits. They were more or less scratched, but the one who suffered the most was Hua Chunhua. Zhao Xinhui hurried forward and asked, Mother, how are you? Are you all right? Ouch, it hurts. Queer, it really hurts. Hua Chunhua shouted. Mother, I'll help you into the car. Bear with it. It's all that damn girl Zhao Yun's fault. Let's see if you still won't help after being beaten up. Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Yun when she heard that. Zhao Yun pursed her lips and ignored Hua Chunhua's glare of resentment. Sister-in-law Mulan, let's get in the car too. Mulan looked at Zhao Yun sympathetically and nodded. The two of them got into the carriage together. Hua Chunhua's injuries weren't light, so she didn't fight with Zhao Yun. However, she kept scolding Zhao Yun. Damn girl, you have no conscience. How did my old Zhao family give birth to a girl like you? I'll deal with you when we get back. Damn girl, I don't know how old third taught you. Hua Chunhua kept nagging, but Zhao Yun pretended not to hear her and chatted with Mulan. Chapter 121. This time, it was rare that these women did not target Zhao Yun From time to time, they even criticized Hu Chunhua. Along the way, they arrived at Yang City amidst the chatter. Once Zhao Yun got off the car, she helped Mulan carry the basket and walk towards the market. She thought that Zhao Yun was here to sell fish today, and Hu Chunhua was unwilling to give up. This little b asterisk TCH didn't even send some fish to them after catching them. The dozens of caddies of fish in the basket could be sold for 1 or 200 copper coins. Thinking that Zhao Yun could make money, Hu Chunhua felt uncomfortable. She was thinking about how to make Zhao Yun hand over the money to her. There were many people in the market. Zhao Yun and Mulan each paid 3 copper coins and started to sell their fish. Zhao Yun was not shy. She began to yell at the people coming and going. "Let's take a walk and have a look. Fresh fish." After a while, someone stopped in front of Zhao Yun and started to ask about the price. "Miss, how much is your carp?" "Annie, it's 5 copper coins per caddy. I just caught it from the water yesterday and brought it here today. Do you want one?" "But 5 copper coins per caddy is a little expensive. I'll look at other shops." "Annie, the prices in these stalls are about the same. I'll buy fish because it's fresh and delicious. How about this? I'll give you a discount of half a copper coin. You can take it back. If you like it, you can come back next time to help my business." The old woman thought for a while and felt that it was a good idea. In addition, Zhao Yun's smiling face gave people a sense of intimacy, so she agreed. "Okay, then get me one." "Okay." Zhao Yun quickly held up a fish. The weight was borrowed from Aunt Lu's house. Otherwise, she would not be able to sell the fish. "Auntie, 2 caddies and 1 tail. Just give me 9 copper coins." Seeing that she had earned 1 tail of fish for free, the old woman became happier and paid the money happily. After a while, Zhao Yun's money was sold out. Her fish were sold so quickly because her fish were indeed fresh and not expensive. Secondly, she was very good-looking and likable. After spending more than half an hour to complete the task, Zhao Yun was in a very good mood. He counted the copper coins in his hand and found that he had earned a total of 112 copper coins. Although it wasn't much, it wasn't a small amount in ancient times. Zhao Yun kept the money with a smile on her face. It took Mulan half an hour to sell another wicker basket. Others were still bargaining, but they only sold it for 8 copper coins in the end. Therefore, when she saw that Zhao Yun was sold out, she felt envious. "Yun, you're so nice. They're all sold out." Zhao Yun smiled and said, "I'm selling food, so it's a little faster. Sister-in-law Mulan, don't be anxious. Take your time." Yes, but it won't be for long." Father whose horse carriage is also going back. I hope to sell a few more. After all, the journey back and forth cost 6 copper coins. Plus the rent, it was 3 copper coins. She had only sold 1 and had not earned back her capital. Zhao Yun didn't know how to comfort Mulan. "Sister-in-law Mulan, you sell first. I'll buy some breakfast and come back later to help you sell them." Mulan nodded. "Okay, what do you want to eat? I'll bring some for you." No need. Yun, I don't want to eat." Chapter 122. The streets were bustling with activity and people were everywhere. Zhao Yun directly went to the bun shop and bought 4 vegetable buns, spending 2 copper coins. She and Mulan each bought 1. There was not much food left at home. Zhao Yun gritted her teeth and bought another 5 caddies of polished rice and 5 caddies of brown rice. The food of ancient times was indeed a little expensive in modern times. However, these were necessary and indispensable things in life. She had to constantly earn money so that she could continue to buy food. Otherwise, the few hundred copper coins she had left would quickly be used up. Just as Zhao Yun was about to go back to look for Mulan, Hu Chunhua's voice suddenly came from not far away. "Thief! Thief! Oh my God, my money was stolen." Zhao Yun frowned. She originally wanted to ignore Hu Chunhua. After all, this old woman's money was stolen, and it was none of her business. However, Zhao Yun caught a glimpse of a figure running forward. It was very familiar. The person who Chunhua called a thief was Huang-san. When was this fellow released again? Why is he causing trouble for others? Zhao Yun hurriedly ran over. When Hu Chunhua saw Zhao Yun, she immediately ordered Zhao Yun, girl, hurry up and chase after him. Get my money back. That's my life. This time, she came to the city to buy clothes and jewelry for Zhao Xinhui and took out more than half of the family's money. She had not bought anything yet. If it was stolen just like that, it would be a huge loss. Zhao Xinhui was afraid that she would not be able to buy clothes and jewelry because she did not have money. She put on a bitter face. Zhao Yun frowned. She was very unhappy with Hu Chunhua's commanding tone. Help me look after the things. I'll go after them. Zhao Yun put down the food. It wasn't because he wanted to help Hu Chunhua. It was purely because he couldn't stand Huang-san. Okay. Yunner, go quickly. Hu Chunhua's attitude suddenly became much more polite. She wasn't stupid. She was asking Zhao Yun for help. How could she not be polite? Zhao Yun ran out and quickly caught up with Huang-san. Stop right there. Zhao Yun shouted. Huang-san turned around and discovered that the person who caught up was actually Zhao Yun. This woman was here again? He even came over to catch him again. He was really courting death. Last time's matter. Huang-san bore grudge. This time, Zhao Yun came over. She was just courting death. Hee, little girl, your courage is quite big. You actually came to find this prince to stir up trouble. Huang-san sneered. Zhao Yun saw that Huang-san suddenly stopped and did not have the intention to escape. Her lips hooked up into a cold smile. I caught you stealing again. It seems that you didn't learn from your mistakes. You didn't stay in prison long enough. Huang-san snorted. This prince has someone behind me. Even if I go in, I can come out after 2 days. What about it? Looking at Huang-san's smug look, Zhao Yun felt angry. The ancient times were even darker than the 21st century. In the 21st century, people could rely on connections to get out, let alone the ancient times. However, Zhao Yun hated this the most. The bad guys were not punished. Instead, they were free and happy. Was this really fair? Chapter 123. Zhao Yun had just rushed over when a few people suddenly rushed out from behind Huang-san. Each and every one of them was a sturdy man with a mighty and majestic appearance. These people exposed their arms, showing off their thick and sturdy arms. These people's arms all have muscles. Zhao Yun frowned. Come, little lady, aren't you here to deal with my mother? Huang-san grinned, revealing a row of big yellow teeth, looking really disgusting. Zhao Yun was naturally not that stupid. In her previous life, she had to consider her physique. Not to mention in this life, Zhao Yun was skinny and had no strength at all. Rushing forward, that was courting death. Zhao Yun retreated a few steps with vigilance. Little lady, what's wrong? Are you scared? Want to run? Huang-san sneered. Looking at Huang-san's cold eyes, Zhao Yun knew that Huang-san definitely did not intend to let her off and wanted to take revenge. Sure enough, Huang-san said to the leader of the men, Brother Long, it's this woman. Last time, she hurt me. You have to help me take revenge. Rest assured, I will definitely help you take revenge. The man called Brother Long nodded, and those men surrounded Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun resisted a few times, but she was still no match for the other side and was finally captured. Let me go. Quickly let me go. Zhao Yun said, a few big men holding a woman like me. Is it interesting? He, little lady, who said that big men can't capture women. If they offend me, Huang-san, I don't care who they are. Huang-san walked in front of Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun's hands were trapped, so Huang-san grabbed Zhao Yun's chin. Little lady, you really made me suffer. No matter what, I have to get it back today. This is your punishment for meddling in other people's business. You did something sneaky. What? You're still not convinced after being caught. Zhao Yun retorted and rolled her eyes. Oh, your mouth is quite powerful. Hee, why don't you see that you're now in my hands? Do you want to die? Don't come near me. You make me sick. Huang-san sneered. Today, I have to punish you properly. Seeing that you're not bad, Why don't you serve me and Brother Long tonight? Let this grandfather have a good time." After Huang San finished speaking, he whispered into Brother Long's ears. Brother Long stared at Zhao Yun. The corner of his mouth revealed a strange smile. Zhao Yun's heart tightened. Huang San and Brother Long's wretched eyes made Zhao Yun somewhat fearful. These two people, they wouldn't really do that kind of thing to her, right? In broad daylight. You want to kidnap a civilian girl? Zhao Yun questioned. Hee, little lady, you don't know. Our Brother Long is the tyrant of Yang City. If he really kidnaps you, who would dare to say anything? Huang San said. Zhao Yun felt a little hopeless. Damn, that meant that she couldn't escape today. She would rather die than be defiled by this group of people. Just as her heart sank, a person suddenly rushed over with a sword in his hand. However, the scabbard hadn't been unsheathed. After a few kicks, the man who was holding Zhao Yun was sent flying. Chapter 124. The burly men were now lying on the ground, while the man who saved her turned around and walked over to a horse carriage. Master, it's done. The man in the horse carriage responded faintly. Zhao Yun's gaze followed the man and finally saw him stop in front of the horse carriage. The horse carriage was very familiar. It was none other than Mu Lianfeng's. Then, Zhao Yun saw the man in the horse carriage lift the curtain and alight from the horse carriage. Then, he walked towards Zhao Yun. It was indeed Mu Lianfeng. He was dressed in blue today and looked even more handsome. His beauty was not the feminine kind, but the kind of beauty with a masculine aura. Zhao Yun was deeply attracted to him with just one look. She did not expect that he would be the one to save her when she was in trouble. She was also a woman and had feelings for men. Every woman wanted a Prince Charming. She felt that Mu Lianfeng was her ideal Prince Charming at this moment. But in this era, the difference in status between two people was too great. It was needless to say that there would be obstacles in the middle if they wanted to be together. Besides, how could such a high and mighty man like her take a fancy to such an ordinary woman who was dragging a little bun behind her? Thinking of this, Zhao Yun suddenly felt a little bitter in her heart. Mu Lianfeng stopped in front of Zhao Yun and said to Zhao Yun, Miss Yun, we met again. Why did they hit you? Zhao Yun told him what had happened. Mu Lianfeng's eyes suddenly became sharp as he looked at the men who were starting to get up from the ground. Mu Lianfeng didn't know why, but when he heard that these people were bullying Zhao Yun, his emotions became so agitated that he wanted to kill all of these people who deserved to die. Huang San and Brother Long's men did not dare to attack again. Putting aside the question of whether or not he could defeat the man in front of him, he could tell at a glance that the man in front of him was not an ordinary person. They were not foolish enough to provoke him. You don't want to be the county magistrate anymore, do you? Mu Lianfeng snorted coldly. What he hated the most was officials using their power to cover up for others. Huang San was a thief who had been released. He would have to ask the county magistrate of Sun City if he still wanted to abide by the country's laws. Let's go. Brother Long ordered his men to leave. Mo Yin, stop him. Yes. The man who had just saved Zhao Yun stood in front of Brother Long. He crossed his arms and held a long sword in his hand. He swept his gaze over Brother Long and the others coolly. Brother Long immediately chuckled at Mo Yin and Mu Lianfeng. It's a misunderstanding. This has nothing to do with us. If you want to find someone, you should find Huang San. It's all his fault. We didn't do anything bad. We were just joking with this lady. The corners of Mu Lianfeng's lips curled up indifferently. Joking? If he had not happened to see it, who knew what other accidents would have happened to Zhao Yun? Would she have been bullied by these people? Huang San saw that Brother Long was no longer on his side and had begun to admit defeat. He knew that he would probably be in trouble, so he quickly ran away. However, Huang San had only taken a few steps when Mo Yin appeared before him with a flash. Chapter 125. The sword had already landed on Huang San's neck. Huang San felt danger, especially when he saw the cold sword on his neck. He was so scared that his legs went weak. Hero, big brother, Please spare me. I beg you, let me go. I was wrong. Huang Xin knelt on the ground and put his hands together as he begged Mo Yan. Didn't you run? Now you're begging for mercy? Mo Yan's lips curled up as she looked at Huang San in a mocking manner. Big brother, I won't do again. I won't do it again. Right now, I'm at your mercy. Huang San said in a hurry. Zhao Yun looked at Mo Yan's arrogant manner and felt that she was too cool. She thought that kung fu was just something written in wuxia novels. Who would have thought that kung fu really existed? Seeing how Mo Yan could fly around in the sky, Zhao Yun felt both envy and admiration. If she could learn kung fu, wouldn't it be much easier to catch thieves in the 21st century? Master, how should we deal with them? Mo Yan looked at Mu Lianfeng and asked. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun. Miss Yun, how do you think we should deal with them? Zhao Yun obviously want to send these people to the authorities. However, it seemed to be useless after sending them to the authorities. Since Huang San could be released from prison once, he could be released a second time. Zhao Yun thought about it and said, Young master, I think you have a better idea of how to deal with this person than me. If we send him to the authorities, I just don't know if he'll come out and do bad things again. Mu Yinfeng nodded. All right, leave it to me. I definitely won't let him out again. All right, Zhao Yun said. Then she looked at Mu Yinfeng gratefully. Young master, thank you so much for today's matter. You're welcome. At this moment, Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui, who had been at the back, also rushed over. When Hu Chunhua saw that Huang San had been subdued, she immediately rushed in front of Huang San and slapped him on the head. Then, a pair of thick black claws scratched Huang San's face. You little bastard, you actually dare to throw money at this old woman. Hurry up and hand it over. If it were not for Mo Yin, how could Huang San allow Hu Chunhua to hit him? He knew that if he moved, Mo Yan's sword could probably kill him at any time. Auntie, don't hit me. I'll give it back to you. I'll give it back to you, okay? Huang San's face was bitter as he took out the money pouch and gave it back to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua quickly opened the money bag and looked at it. After counting it, she saw that the money inside was not less. She held it in her hand with relief. Now, she did not dare to put it in her pocket anymore. Who knew if she would run into a thief later? If it was stolen again, she would really cry to death. Looking at the money that she had lost and then regained, Hu Chunhua's bitter face finally recovered a little. She could buy clothes for her daughter later. Let's go. Let's go buy some clothes. Hu Chunhua held the money and walked over to Zhao Xinhui. She called out to Zhao Xinhui. However, Zhao Xinhui acted like she did not hear anything. She stared straight at Mu Lianfeng. As soon as she came over and saw Mu Lianfeng, Zhao Xinhui was attracted. Chapter 126. Zhao Yun's gaze also landed on Zhao Xinhui. This woman was actually looking at a man in such a manner in front of so many people. She was really, even if she was love-struck, she didn't have to be like this, did she? Mu Yinfeng seemed to feel Zhao Xinhui's scorching gaze and looked over at Zhao Xinhui. With this look, Zhao Xinhui's heart rippled. Thinking that Mu Yinfeng was interested in her, she couldn't help but blink at Mu Yinfeng. Mu Yinfeng frowned and asked Zhao Xinhui, Miss, do you have an eye disease? Do you want to go to the medical hall to have a look? Zhao Yun, who was listening at the side, almost couldn't help laughing out loud. Mu Yinfeng was really too funny. Why didn't she see that he had the potential to be so humorous? Sir, I don't have an eye disease. Zhao Xinhui hurriedly explained, afraid that she would ruin Mu Yinfeng's beautiful image. Then why do you keep winking at me? Mu Yinfeng's voice was indifferent. Zhao Xinhui was a little anxious. She couldn't possibly say that she was winking at Mu Yinfeng, right? Mu Yinfeng ignored Zhao Xinhui and turned to Zhao Yun. He said to Zhao Yun, Miss Yun, I still have something to do, so I'll go back first. If you run into any trouble in Yang City, you can look for me directly at the heir presumptive's residence. As Mu Yinfeng spoke, he took out a bronze token from his sleeve and handed it to Zhao Yun. With this bronze token, the servants of the heir presumptive's residence would inform him. Zhao Yun didn't want to accept it at first. She had troubled Mu Lianfeng too many times. However, she knew that if she didn't accept it, and something like today happened again, a commoner like her wouldn't be able to solve it. Sorry, it can't solve any problems. Zhao Yun thought about it and accepted it. He would try his best not to trouble Mu Lianfeng. Lord Shitzi, thank you. Zhao Yun said, You're welcome. I'll take my leave then. Mu Lianfeng glanced at Zhao Yun reluctantly before handing Huang San and the others to Mo Yin. And Mo Yin, send them to the government office and inform the district magistrate. If they try anything again this time, they can forget about keeping their official position, and Mo Yin ordered. And Mo Yin replied, Yes. Seeing that Mu Lianfeng was about to leave, Zhao Xinhui was a little anxious. It wasn't easy for her to see a handsome man. How could she bear to see him leave just like that? He didn't even look at her. That didn't make sense. She was dressed up pretty today, so why couldn't she attract the attention of other men? Young master, wait. Zhao Xinhui stepped forward and blocked Mu Lianfeng's path. Miss, is there anything else? Mu Lianfeng asked indifferently. Young master, I'm Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui introduced herself in front of Mu Lianfeng before flirting with him. Zhao Yun only felt embarrassed. These weirdos in her family had really embarrassed her in front of Mu Lianfeng. Although she didn't have much contact with old Zhao's family, they were still her family after all. Mu Lianfeng frowned and glanced at Zhao Xinhui. A sliver of disgust appeared in his eyes. Sorry, miss. I'm not interested in knowing you. I have to go. Chapter 127. Zhao Xinhui stomped her feet angrily and bit her lower lip. She just couldn't figure out what she had done wrong. Why did Mu Lianfeng treat her like this? In the past, when they were in the village, the men in the village would stare at her lustfully when they saw her. However, Mu Lianfeng didn't even want to look at her. Zhao Xinhui thought about it and finally felt that she might not be dressed well enough. After all, the clothes she was wearing were too old-fashioned. When she caught a glimpse of Zhao Yun at the side, Zhao Xinhui suddenly felt jealous. Zhao Yun's clothes were not as good as hers. Mu Lianfeng's attitude towards her just now was not normal. Zhao Xinhui looked for Zhao Yun angrily. When she saw that she was still smiling, as if she was mocking her, Zhao Xinhui became even more unhappy and asked, Wretched girl, what are you laughing at? What does it have to do with you? Zhao Yun replied indifferently. She felt that Zhao Xinhui was looking for trouble. She had embarrassed herself in front of Mu Lianfeng, and now she was picking on her. What's with your attitude? I'm your aunt. How can you talk to me like that? Zhao Xinhui said angrily. Annie, your ability to slander others is really not ordinary. What did I say? What's with your attitude? Mother, look at this wretched girl. She's talking back. Zhao Xinhui turned to Hu Chunhua and complained to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua usually protected Zhao Xinhui. When she saw Zhao Xinhui acting like this, she immediately reprimanded Zhao Yun. Yun, girl, Anne is scolding you. Just listen. Why are you talking back? Zhao Yun's lips curled into a cold smile. That was weird. Did that mean that she was in the wrong? Grandmother, I don't know what you're talking about. But you have to remember that I did you a big favor today. Otherwise, your money bags would have been taken away. Now you can only cry. Now you don't even say thank you. Instead, you're yelling at me. You. Hu Chunhua pointed at Zhao Yun. She was trembling with anger. However, she couldn't refute Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun ignored Zhao Xinhui and Hu Chunhua. She took the rice from Hu Chunhua's and snorted, turned, and left. Paying attention to these two heartless people only made her angry. If she had known, she wouldn't have helped to get back the money bags. She would have let Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui cry. Zhao Yun returned to the market. Mulan had been waiting for a long time. Seeing that Zhao Yun hadn't returned for a long time, she thought that something had happened to Zhao Yun. She was very anxious. Yun, why did it take you so long to come back? Zhao Yun told Zhao Yun what had happened just now. Yun, it's good that nothing happened. Zhao Yun'er handed the vegetable buns she bought to Mulan. Sister-in-law Mulan, are you hungry? Come. Fortunately, the buns are still warm. Eat. Yun'er, how can I? Mulan glanced at it and didn't take it. Take it. There's still the whole morning. If you don't eat, you'll be hungry. 2 buns, only 1 copper coin. It's not expensive. Then Yun'er. Thank you. Mulan took one and ate it. She gave the other to Zhao Yun'er. Yun'er, eat it yourself. Chapter 128. Really? Really? How could I not eat it myself? Oh, okay. Yun'er, I'll eat myself. Okay. Mulan was really hungry. She swallowed the 2 buns in a short while. Zhao Yun'er had been gone for so long, but Mulan hadn't sold a single basket. Seeing that it was almost time to go back, she began to feel anxious. If she didn't make any money this time and lost some capital, her mother-in-law would probably scold her again when she went back. Looking at Mulan's gloomy face, Zhao Yun'er comforted her. Don't worry, sister-in-law Mulan. I'll help you. After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, she shouted like a salesperson on TV. Come, take a look, take a look. Don't miss it when you pass by. It's a practical and beautiful basket, a wicker basket. Zhao Yun'er's voice was clear and pleasant, and she shouted with great effort. Many passers-by came forward to take a look. Miss, how much is this basket? Auntie, this basket was originally 10 coins. Just now, an uncle bought 1 and left. If you really want to buy it, I'll give you 8 coins. Look at how many things you're carrying. It's just right to put them in a basket. It's more convenient. The woman looking at the basket thought about it and agreed. So she said to Zhao Yun, little girl, then give me 1. Okay. Zhao Yun'er picked the biggest one and gave it to the woman. Auntie, the biggest one. It's packed a lot. The woman laughed and said, little girl, you really know how to do business. It's just a small business. If you want to buy a basket next time, come here. Haha, okay. The woman took out 8 coins, took the basket with one hand, and paid the money with the other. Seeing that Zhao Yun had sold the basket in such a short time, Mulan's eyes had a trace of admiration for Zhao Yun'er. Yun'er, aren't you too amazing? Haha, there must be a way to do business. Tell me. However, this wasn't something that could be learned in a short time. Zhao Yun still had to teach it step by step. Zhao Yun was said and stuffed the 8 copper coins into Mulan's hand. We have to hurry up and sell more. All right. Zhao Yun'er continued to yell with all her might. In a short period of time, she sold another 4. He sold 2 baskets for 10 copper coins each. This time, Mulan earned 52 copper coins. Compared with Zhao Yun'er, it was a little less, but Mulan was satisfied. After all, it was not easy to earn a few dozen copper coins in the village. All in all, excluding the cost, he had earned 3 caddies of meat. Yun'er, my mother said that if we earn enough money, we can go and weigh a caddy of meat. Okay, then let's hurry up and go. The 2 of them came to the meat shop. Mulan bought a caddy of lean meat. In ancient times, lean meat was much cheaper than fatty meat. A caddy of lean meat was only 11 copper coins. Zhao Yun looked and bought a caddy of lean meat. However, she bought streaky pork, which cost 14 copper coins per caddy. When the 2 of them returned to the ox cart, the others had already arrived. Only Zhao Xinhui and Hu Chunhua had not returned. The people on the ox cart waited for a while, but Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui still did not return. Chapter 129. Why are they dawdling? They're still not here. Have they never been to the city before? I wonder what they're doing. Sigh, they're still not here. Normally, they would have taken action long ago. Old man Hu, let's go. What are we waiting for? We don't know when I'll be back. Let's go. They've implicated us. These women were impatient and began to complain. Old man Hu also put away his tobacco pipe gloomily. Usually, when they took the ox cart, there was a rule that they had to come back at a certain time and then set off for home. Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui didn't know the rules and still hadn't come back. Sigh, if we leave, we don't know how they'll return to the village. What they meant was to wait a little longer. Old man who felt that it wasn't good to leave an old woman and a young girl behind and walk 10 to 20 miles back. I say, old man who, you can't be like this. How they go back is their business. Who asked them to not come back until now? If they don't come back, are we going to wait until the sky turns dark? Do we still want to go back? My dog is waiting for me to go back and cook. Old man who, it's fine if you continue to wait, but I'll say the ugly words first. The next time I come to sell vegetables, if the business isn't good and I take a long time to come back, then you have to wait for me too. This old man who knew that once this rule was broken, these people would follow suit in the future. Then let's go back. Old man who sighed and decided to go back. After all, he didn't want to cause trouble for himself. The carriage swayed as it drove towards Shui Lan village. After leaving Hua Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui behind, many people in the carriage were gloating. This pair of mother and daughter were hated by these women. Now that they were left in the city, they wanted to see how they would go back. Zhao Yunho laughed in her heart. Hua Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui were going to suffer from walking back to the village from Yang City. However, this pretentious mother and daughter deserved it. On the other hand, Hua Chunhua was still leading Zhao Xinhui to visit one cloth shop after another. Sun City wasn't a town, so the cloth was pretty good. After visiting a few shops, all the fabrics that Zhao Xinhui was interested in cost at least 1 tael of silver. She picked out a silver hairpin and spent 1 tael on it. Hua Chunhua felt her heart ache when she spent more than 2 taels of silver in one go. However, she also treasured her daughter. She couldn't refuse to give her what she wanted. She gritted her teeth and bought it for Zhao Xinhui. Mother, you're so good to me. When I marry the heir, I will be filial to you, Zhao Xinhui said sweetly. Hua Chunhua was amused by Zhao Xinhui. It's okay. Mom is willing to buy things for you. It's fine as long as my huier is fine. Let's go. We bought these things. It's time for us to go back. Hua Chunhua was a little worried about whether old man, whose carriage was still there. However, she felt that old man who wouldn't leave them behind. Otherwise, he would definitely cause trouble when he returned to the village. Mother, I bought these clothes and jewelry. Since we're already in the city, let's bring some meat back. I want to eat meat. Zhao Xinhui said as she shook Hua Chunhua's arm. Hua Chunhua couldn't persuade Zhao Xinhui. She had no choice but to go to the market and buy 1 jean of meat. Mother, is 1 jean of meat enough? That you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.